Hey everybody, this is Arathas, and welcome back to 999. So we're gonna go ahead and continue through to the get through the ending we are currently on. We left off, I believe we were in the engine room. Yeah, the steam engine room. So we are going to go through this. Yes, I would like to resume from there. And then I think we're gonna try to, because I think we're not too far from this ending. We're gonna then try to get the true ending. Let's see. Oh, nice. Dog is happy. Yeah, I believe we are currently in the final room of the second playthrough. Well, final puzzle room, but I'm not sure. Now the fun part is trying to remember how to get through this area. Okay. That was easier than I thought it was going to be. You want me to push you off her, Junpei? No way, Meow. Jackass. No, I agree. Push Junpei off at this point. What part of the VOD are you at? I'll try to give you whatever information I can. You said about halfway, but I'm not sure what halfway was. But yeah, I wouldn't mind. Ah, the surgical suite. Okay, the gate just fell. Not a lot happens after that, honestly. Once you... Yeah, basically you just solve the puzzles to get out of the surgical suite. There's nothing huge going on there. Like, there's... You find out that... What's her name? Lotus was apparently, like, is just a genius with computers. She's like, she helps you solve the puzzle. You get out of the surgical suite. Just barely. You meet up with all the rest of the dudes and you find out all three of the doors end up going back to the hospital room. So you meet up with Ace again. And... Oh yeah, Clover survives. So far, the only two that are dead, even in this playthrough, as far as we are now, the only two that are dead are still Snake, or we're assuming Snake, but we're not sure still because his face was destroyed, and Nine. So we come out. They tell, like, they all want to go through the third door by themselves because, yeah, they want to go through the third door with Clover because they're like, nobody's seen, nobody's seen Snake at this point. So she demands that they go through that door since they all meet up again, so she can see if he's behind that door. And obviously, as we know from the first playthrough, oh, he is, but just in pieces. While they're going through the third door, we take off. Like, we decide that, okay, we have a key card and we have all these keys. Let's go explore these other rooms. When you go to the main room, let's see, I believe it is not 7, but Lotus and Santa go to deck A and they find door number 1, I believe, on the top floor. Door number, Junpei and our little psychopath go into an elevator and go downstairs and find door 6, which is what we're exploring right now, what's behind door 6. And there was also, like, trying to remember, I think door 2 was out there somewhere, but I don't think anybody goes through it. So we all meet back up. Now, I will say there is a conversation between Junpei and June before they go down the elevator and find door 6 that is absolutely hilarious. Like, I have not laughed that hard in a game for a while. There's just this long conversation and it's just fucking hilarious. And not due to bad writing, it is legitimately funny. Also, hi Helios, how's it going? Let's see. So we meet up with everybody again after they get through door 3. They tell us that Snake's dead. Oh yeah, the innuendos were hilarious. We meet up with them. We come to the... Everybody tells us Snake's dead. We see his body, even though we'd seen it in our previous playthrough. Come back to the center, and yeah, everybody starts deciding what doors to go through. I believe we only went through door 1 and door 6. I don't think anybody, like I said, went through door 2. And yeah, that's where we are now. It was us, Santa, Ace, and June went through door 6. And we're in the steam engine room of the ship. Shortly after we got into this room to solve the puzzle, June completely passed out. Like, she got a fever and she just collapsed. And that's it. Like, story-wise, we didn't get any... Oh yeah, Ace is still shifty. Story-wise, aside from that, like, hilarious innuendo conversation, and aside from learning that Lotus has a really strong background in computers. We think she might be a hacker. We're not sure. Ace likes boats. That's true. We haven't had any big reveals like in our last playthrough. We had, what's his name? 7 basically reveal a bunch of his past, get his memory back, and tell us about he's been here before, the kids were the experiment, all that shit. Nothing like that's happened this time. We haven't had any big story reveals like we had with 7. So yeah. And I did say this yesterday. I did a little bit of research, spoiler-free research. And yeah, there's 6 endings, and we're trying to play through the last 3 of the endings 4, 5, and 6, because that gets us the full story, with ending 6 being the true ending. So, all right, that's about it. All right, we need to go back downstairs. I think we go through door A. There it is. Yep. Something landed on the floor over here. Oh, is this not the... That's not the pulley, is it? Oh, it's here. Control panel for something. But yeah, no big reveals, so I'm not actually sure where anything's going at this point. So, yeah, we'll see. All right, I believe the control panel would go... Like, we can't... Well, maybe I can plug it in here. Maybe this is where the control panel goes. There's only one way to find out. In you go. I find it odd that can be detached. Dude, you did it. Everything looks all right, but what do we do now? Why don't you press the button? The orange one? Yep. All right, let's go. Pushing. Sweet, all sorts of lights are lighting up on this thing. And oh yes, I think I just heard something turn on. Oh, what's that? What happened? Junpei, look, the conveyor belt's moving. The conveyor belt? Yeah, that's what we all decided at the beginning. This would turn on the conveyor belt. I guess it's done moving now. There's still a bunch of coal on the belt, though. Looks like a bunch of it got dumped off the end of the belt into that wooden box where we found the control panel. Coal. Coal, huh? Yes. Coal. Now we have a box filled with coal. Okay. This is where you put the coal into the furnaces? That's right. I had to look at it earlier, but it's rusted shut. Perhaps you should check the other side? Yeah, let's go. Oh, come on. Yeah, they won't let me open any of them. I don't know how to get to the ground on the other side. It was all blocked off. But we shall figure it out. Oh, this side. I thought it was... Yeah, okay. There's a hole that'll let us put coal into the furnace. Maybe if we can get some coal in here and set it on fire. Let's do it. No coal left in the wooden box. And nothing. Great. Well, I guess I should have expected that. Why would just throwing coal into a cold furnace do anything? Ah, well, a man can dream. Doesn't change anything. Junpei, explain it to me again. You're planning to stoke the furnace with coal, which will heat the water stored up there and make steam, which will then drive something else. Am I correct? In other words, you want to generate enough pressure with the steam to power the turbine, I guess. And drive the steam engine, right? Yeah, I guess that's the gist of it. Well, in that case, this isn't enough coal. The furnace is enormous, so we're gonna need a whole hell of a lot more coal than this. Very well then. If the three of us work together, then we should manage to fill it much faster. Get some shovels. I want to help too. I don't need to be shanked today. Thank you. Just lay the fuck back down. Man, I totally didn't even see her walk up. Sneaky. Feeling up to that? Yeah. Yeah, right. You look like you're one stiff breeze away from falling over, June. I think you'd better rest some more, all right? But no arguing. You need your rest. So you just stay there. We'll handle this. Okay, I understand. All right, time for some manly work. All right, maybe you say so. Let's get this coal into those furnaces. Uh-huh. Man, this is a lot of work. All right, I think this should be sufficient. I just gotta light it. Junpei, hand me your matches. What makes you think I have matches? I see. And how are we gonna light it? Perhaps there's a device nearby that will allow us to remotely ignite the coal. I imagine. Take a look. Well, first of all, you might want to close that. Have you thought about looking at the other side? That's the machine to get us more coal. I think he means let's go up here. That. Is this? I think it might be. Probably is. Ignite the furnace. That means if we move that thing down. Yeah. Flip the switch, motherfuckers. Hey, Junpei, Ace, look at this. There's big gears turning under the boiler here. Yeah, we know those gears. Aha. The gears, they're spinning. What the hell are you guys waiting for? Let's start looking. Yeah, I just want this. The gold disc has a number of lines engraved on it. I can make out 3 colors here, red, blue, and black. I wonder what they mean. They just connect to each other. That's all they mean, dude. Don't read too much into it. Cool, cool. Get the last one. No. Hey. Okay. Have to do this. And... okay, there we go. All right, so I believe we go up here. We keep going up here. Hey, Junpei, what are you doing? It's hotter than hell. Okay, fair enough. Ah, yes, you're right. Hey, X3105. You kind of do need to move this. Okay. I mean, I kind of do need you guys to move that so I can get down. Oh, they're right here. All right. This is impression that looks like it's the outline of 3 circles laid on top of each other in a triangle. All right. Huh? That's odd. Nothing's happening. Well, maybe because you put them in the wrong spots, because that looks like the silver slot. This was the bronze slot, and that looked like the gold slot. Perhaps you have them facing the wrong directions. Rotate. Yep. All right. Let's give it a try. When the disc is clicked, it will rotate. When the white arrow is clicked, the discs are switched. Please note, when the discs are switched, the angles for the discs are reset. Well, first things first. No, you switch. And you switch. There we go. Let me out. The red lines on these discs. I think maybe I can make a star polygon with these. Open. That was pretty damn easy.
Yes, the door's open.
It is indeed. Given the circumstances, Junpei's happiness was certainly understandable. Too late, X3105. I think I did. Ace seemed to share his excitement.
All right, Junpei. Why don't you go get June now? Santa and I will keep an eye on the store.
You guys gonna die, aren't you? Santa snorted.
Why do we need to do that? Even if it shuts, we know how to solve the puzzle now. We could just open it again.
Well, I suppose that's true. Shall all three of us go and collect June then?
Nah, I'm cool. I'll let Junpei handle it.
He still seemed irritated by something, however, and sat down on the stairs petulantly.
So are you only interested in being contrary?
Ace sighed with the air of a long-suffering parent.
All right, I'll go get June. I'll be right back.
He gave a quick nod to Ace and Santa and dashed off down the stairs. Before long, he was back on the first floor next to the conveyor belt and June.
Oh, Jumpy!
As he drew closer, she stood up slowly.
Are you okay?
He did his best to sound calm and nonchalant, but there was no hiding the genuine concern in his voice.
Yes, I'm fine now. I'm sorry I made you worry.
Your guys' relationship is so fucking weird. June blushed. He wasn't sure if she was embarrassed or still feverish.
Let me check.
That's true, that didn't sound like dashing down the stairs. Just to make sure, he reached out and put his hand against her forehead. Oh my god.
Good. You're feeling a lot better.
She was feeling far less warm than she had earlier, but still wasn't down to what seemed normal to him.
Are you sure you're all right?
He had to be sure. June gave him a look.
Oh, you're such a warrior, Jumpy.
Was that meant to be worrier rather than warrior? Because I don't know how the fuck you think Jumpy's a warrior.
Oops, I mean, warrior.
Okay, I was about to say, lady. June giggled. Fair enough. He wasn't sure if she just made a joke or not, but seeing her smile again made Junpei feel at ease. If she was well enough to smile and laugh, that she really was feeling much better. He gave her a friendly poke on the forehead.
All right, let's go.
Go where?
Oh, right. I didn't tell you. We got the exit open, so...
Great, let's go.
Yeah, let's go. June clasped her hands and nodded urgently. They headed back to the exit, but on their way, they found...
Oh, it's...
Santa?
Santa was sitting on the stairs. He was, however, holding something in his right hand and staring at it with a strange expression. Junpei and June slowed down and finally stopped in front of him.
What are you looking at?
So we're gonna find out what's going on with him. Santa answered without looking up, his voice quiet.
It's a photo. It's my sister.
Was your sister the one that died on the boat?
Sister? Santa, you've got a sister?
Santa simply nodded.
Yeah. Kid was cute as a button.
June cocked her head, confused.
She was only about an inch tall then?
Not the time, June, not the time. Santa glared at her.
Oh, sorry. I guess an inch is a little large for a button. Probably more like a half inch.
Not the time, psycho. Santa didn't smile or laugh.
Sorry.
Why are you looking at it?
He simply turned back to his picture and
I
spoke.
was her Santa Claus.
Wait, what?
This sudden revelation took Junpei by surprise. He had no idea what Santa meant. So how's it revelation then? He glanced at June, who shook her head. She didn't have a clue either.
We didn't have parents. They bought it in an accident when we were still kids. So I had to be like her dad. and that meant that I bought her Christmas presents every year. On Christmas Eve, I'd leave the present next to her pillow, and the next morning she'd come running into my room with this big smile. Look, look, Santa left me a present. He got me that doll I really wanted. I'm so glad he got my letter. She was always so excited. I was the one who told her to write those letters. I'd say, write down something you want and mail it to Santa. The address I gave her was somewhere in Northern Europe that doesn't exist. Anyway, she'd write the letter and stamp it and send it out. And then a few days later, it'd show up back in our mailbox marked address unknown. I'd open the letters before she figured out they'd been sent back. Once I had the letter, I'd go around to a couple stores with some money I'd saved up over the year and buy her the stuff she'd asked for. It took a lot of saving, but I managed to buy her presents every year.
Huh.
Junpei was silent. He could think of nothing to say.
Huh.
June looked down, uncomfortable. The wall next to him suddenly groaned. Either way, he hadn't heard the sound. Oh, either he hadn't heard the sound or didn't care. Santa kept
But
talking.
one year, her letter was different. She didn't write a list of toys she wanted or anything like that. Instead, it said, I don't want any presents this year. Instead, I want you to make my wish come true. My wish is that we'll be happy like this for a really, really long time. That was it. Nothing else. But I couldn't make that wish come true. Some Santa I am.
Santa looked sad. Junpei had never seen him look sad before. Well, you've only known him for a couple hours, dude. He wasn't sure he liked it. You'd be kind of fucked up if you did. Goddamn. Junpei decided it was probably best not to ask Santa any more questions, but
What happened?
June, read the room. Damn it. June glanced up at Santa quickly as she spoke. He answered, but only with an effort.
She died. She was killed 9 years ago.
On this ship.
Oh.
There was nothing Junpei could say. His heart felt like a great lump of lead. June bit her lip and looked away. Her face was pale.
All right, let's go.
So, what we've received from these final rooms is in the last ending, we found out that what's his name was a cop. Seven was a cop. He was on this ship. Well, he was captured on this ship. He managed to save the kidnapped kids, but one of them died. Two of the kids that were kidnapped, we found out in the last ending, were twins that belonged to... what's his name? Belonged to Lotus. And in this one, we found out the one who died was this dude's sister. All right. He shoved the picture back in his pocket and headed back up the stairs, taking them two at a time.
Huh?
Junpei and June looked at one another. There was nothing they could think of to say.
Hey, what are you two doing? Let's get moving, come on!
Santa's voice echoed across the room from above them.
Let's go.
Yeah.
They nodded and followed him quickly up the stairs. Ace was waiting for them at the top. He was leaning against the handrail. He looked very tired.
Oh, you're finally back.
The door had shut, but it wasn't cause for concern.
Sorry we took so long.
Junpei quickly solved the disc puzzle a second time, and the door opened once again. Wouldn't it be fucked up if it didn't work the second time?
Let's go.
It's like, man, you guys only have one opportunity to, like, solve the puzzle. In single file, they walked through. After walking for nearly 15 feet, they found themselves in front of a metal door. It opened easily enough, and they passed through it as well. A new room stretched out before them. Ah, cargo room.
Huh. Is this a warehouse?
No, I believe this is the cargo room. This must be where they store all of this vessel's freight.
There are wooden crates everywhere. I wonder how old they are.
About 9 years? Junpei, Ace, and June had stopped unconsciously, pausing to take in their new surroundings. Santa's voice broke through their momentary trance.
Well, we probably ought to start with finding the exit, right? Let's get going.
Yeah, move it. I mean, it's probably up there. All right. Let's start by seeing what's down here. They seem to be tied to one another with sturdy straps. Can I do something about the straps? Not yet. There are a bunch of bags here. I wonder what's in them. Card with the headshots. Number 9. How you doing? Card with the 9th man's face printed on it. What's that? It's a card. It has a headshot on it. A headshot? Yeah, I'm not really sure what purpose this could possibly serve. These crates are a little smaller than the others. They look like they're the children at the other crates. Junpei, that sounds like some sort of fairy tale. Really? I don't know, man. You ever think about how crates would reproduce? Doesn't sound like a fairy tale to me. Oh, fuck. Oh, hey, look at you. Card with Santa's face on it. No comment from Santa? I think that would have gotten a reaction out of him. We're not going to go that way yet. What's up? Clover. Snake. Is that Snake's card? Yeah, you want to see it? No, that's fine. I like how he's like, I really don't fucking care. It's Ace's card. You look like some kind of European lord. Does he? Oh, my headshot. You want to see it? It's actually a pretty good picture. No, I don't need to see it. In fact, we really should get back to our search. Dude, there's shit on these. There's a reason we're here. Okay, I know we need to go upstairs. That's where we came from. There's nothing in them. What if I don't believe you? Not cool, man. You took this picture without my permission. Looks pretty cool, though. If you say so. You look really handsome in this picture. Okay. Hey, knock it off, lovebirds. What? We're not a couple. Not at all. Not in any way. Damn straight, serial killer. This must be... Oh, no, don't look at it. I'm not cute at all. I'm not photogenic, and I don't look sexy either. I don't care. Next to Clover, my skin looks gross. And I'm not sexy like Lotus. I mean, you got a point. I know guys go for women who look like Lotus, but I'm trying to. I'm doing the best I can. So please don't call me a board or a trash can or a cutting board. What the fuck? Wait a minute. I haven't said anything like that, have I? Wow, lady. 7's card. If this is supposed to be a trading card, it's not a very good one. So all these people are too dumb to notice that there's this at the bottom. Yeah. Ace bent down and picked up something that had been sitting next to the box. Junpei, take a look at this. Cards. Oh, we got the last one. That was just sitting on the floor. Man, her hair is ridiculous. It's like clay or something. Says the pot to the kettle. Yeah, I get what we're supposed to do.
Now we finally have all 9 picture cards. We just need to insert these cards into the slots at the front of each box.
Yeah, Jumpy's dumb as hell. Junpei stared at the cards in his hands. Ace peered over his shoulder at them.
You know which card goes in which box, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course I do. It's really obvious. You just match our numbers to the numbers, then you pop the corresponding card in the right box. So for instance, the card with the picture of Ace on it goes into box 1. The card with the picture of Snake on it goes into box 2.
Oh, I see.
So you didn't know.
Huh? What is it?
Junpei thought he may have imagined it, but he could have sworn Ace stiffened just then. Junpei heard a noise. He spun around just in time to see June collapse in front of the fence.
Hey! June, are you okay?
I mean, you would think so, right? Junpei spun back around to face Ace.
I'm sorry, I gotta go check on her. You finish the box thing, all right? Just put the cards in the boxes. I'm counting on you.
He shoved the cards into Ace's hands and ran off towards June.
Are you all right? What happened?
That could be it, yeah. I mean, that could be that condition that Lotus talked about where he can't tell the difference between people's faces. Junpei called out to her as he ran.
Can you stand?
As he arrived, June was climbing to her feet with Santa's help.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm fine. I just tripped.
Don't give me that. Now is not the time.
But it's true. I tripped over a box.
I mean, it's right there.
Just let me see for a sec.
Junpei put his palm on her forehead.
You're still warm.
Her temperature was much the same as it had been the last time he checked. In the steam room. She wasn't hot like she'd been before, but she was still warm. Her fever wasn't completely gone.
I saw her fall. I think she really did just trip on something, you know?
Junpei would have been more willing to agree if June, good God, if June hadn't needed quite so much help standing up.
Still, to fall down like that? I think she's probably still a little messed up.
June was doing her best to busy herself brushing dust off of her dress. Her smile looked a little embarrassed and her face was a bit flushed. But she did look a great deal better than she had. Still.
All right, well, let's just get out of here as fast as we can so we can get you to a hospital.
Oh, I don't think it's anything that serious. I just need a little medicine and some sleep, and I'll be fine.
Which means we got to get the fuck up out of here, guys.
Medicine. Medicine, huh? Well, if we could get in touch with anyone outside, I'll bet Ace could swing that for you easy.
Ace? Why?
Huh? Don't you know? He's the president of a pharmaceutical company.
Oh, shit.
Cradle Pharmaceuticals is the name, I think.
Oh. So, dude, the people that kidnapped your sister and are responsible for her death, he owns that company. I think you should go have a chat with him.
Their flagship product is an anesthetic drug called Soparil.
Soparil. Soparil. I've heard of that before somewhere.
Junpei couldn't shake the feeling that he'd heard about Soparil before. Santa continued.
Soparil. It's an anesthetic that's a gas at room temperature. A lot like how nitrous oxide is. It takes only a few seconds to spread, and even a small amount is very effective. A bunch of countries quickly accepted it for widespread use within their police and military forces. It was an effective crowd suppressant and room clearer. It was practical, ethical, and the humane nature of it made it the ideal drug. It's been around for about 6 years. They developed it from the extracts of several different roots. It became popular almost as soon as it was made public, with many governments placing large orders. Demand for Soparil skyrocketed, and of course that meant Cradle Pharmaceuticals' stock did too.
Why do you know all of this?
Santa's information was interesting, but Junpei couldn't help but feel a little suspicious. Santa's reply was blunt and
I
simple.
heard it from the old man himself.
From Ace? When?
By the number 4 door at the central stairway, when we were searching the second-class room.
Oh. The door we've never entered.
Remember how Snake, Seven, and you went to door 5? It was back then. I asked him what he did for a living, and he said he ran his own company. After that, we just started talking, and I guess it just came up, you know?
So neither one of you helped the third person solve the puzzle, huh?
Huh.
Are you worried about something?
No, nothing.
As he spoke, Junpei looked over toward Ace. He seemed to be having difficulty with the 9
What the
boxes.
hell is he doing?
He turned back to June and Santa.
June, don't push yourself, all right?
Yes.
Santa, could you take care of her? I'll go check on Ace. Looks like he's having trouble.
Sure.
He gave them both a short nod, then turned and headed toward Ace.
What are you doing?
Ace's back was to him as Junpei approached. The older man turned around to look at him. His face was pale and covered in
happened?
sweat.
Nothing. My vision has gotten rather blurry, I think, because of fatigue. I can't see very well at the moment.
What can't you see well?
These pictures.
Ace held the cards out to Junpei, splayed out in the shape of a fan.
I don't care to admit it, but I may be developing presbyopia. Growing old is a difficult thing.
He made the best attempt he could at a self-deprecating smile, but his face was flushed. and his lips were pale and drawn.
At any rate, I'll leave the rest to you. I'm feeling awfully tired, so if you don't mind, I'd like to rest for a bit.
He shoved the cards into Junpei's hands and walked quickly away. Junpei looked at him
How
quizzically.
could simply looking at cards have tired him out?
Junpei looked down at the cards in his hand. All of the pictures were quite clear, and each person easily recognizable. Was Ace's vision truly so
But
bad?
if it
No.
wasn't, what had made him so uncomfortable?
His condition. No, we got out of the engine room. We moved into the next room. June woke up. She's feeling a bit better. We found key cards with all of us on it. And to solve a puzzle, we have to put these cards into corresponding boxes. We told Ace to do it and ran away to go help June because she collapsed yet again. Oh, sorry, tripped. We found out that Ace is actually the owner and president of Cradle Pharmaceuticals, the people who kidnapped all the kids originally. And they also made the drug that he used to inject himself to take a nap when we left him behind. Also found out that the girl who died in the previous, 9 years ago, was Santa's sister. So yeah. Oh, we also think Ace has that condition that Lotus told us about, that they can't where he can't recognize faces. That was when Junpei remembered what he'd heard from Lotus much earlier. Oh, here we go.
Prosopagnosia.
Of course you're going to show us this scene again.
Well, put simply, it means a condition where the mind can't distinguish between human faces. In other words, my face would look the same as Clover's or even yours, so they can't remember faces, which is how most people recognize each other. That means that people with prosopagnosia have trouble recognizing even people they're close to.
Maybe he's got prosopagnosia?
Junpei took a look at Ace. He sat at the base of the stairs looking quite depressed.
Well, he looks depressed enough to have it.
If he really did have prosopagnosia, there was no doubt it was a depressing and painful experience. Still, Junpei didn't feel like patting him on the shoulder and telling him everything would be alright would help that much. Still, Junpei felt perhaps it was best he keep Ace's condition to himself, at least for the time being.
Oh well.
Doing his best to clear his mind for the task at hand, he turned back toward the boxes.
Time to solve the 9 boxes puzzle.
9 cards with pictures and 9 boxes. Junpei stared at them for a moment and then began.
Ace's card is in box 1, Snake's is in... I just need to do the same for the rest. And finally, the 9th man's card into box 9.
I'm really glad that they didn't make us do that. It's like, seriously. All 9 box lids opened at once.
Yeah! Oh, they opened! What
He peered inside. In each box was a single pin.
9 pins?
Well, pick them up, dude. They looked a little like sewing pins, but much thicker.
I guess I'll take them with me.
Junpei collected them all quickly and shoved them in his pocket. They look the kind of pins you'd use for sewing. 9. Yes. Alright, so there are a few areas we haven't explored yet. We need to come over here. This is the box she tripped on. If we climb up there, I think we can get over the fence. Junpei, I think you could go take a look at that? Sorry, but no thanks. Why? I've got a bad feeling about it. Pussy. Okay, fine. I'll go. Please be careful, Santa. Yeah, but just in case. Wait, what's he gonna do with that screw? I don't see what throwing a screw at a fence is. Ah, see, it's electrified. This, oh man. There's electricity running through that fence. Looks like it. Then we can't get to the other side. Well, we could jump off those crates, but wouldn't be able to get back. Yeah. What if they weigh too much? He's got a point. Junpei doesn't, Junpei wouldn't necessarily be able to move that up to the fence. Oh, hadn't thought of that. Clearly. We also haven't gone up here. These stairs, they go up 3 stories. What are you waiting for, Junpei? Whatever, I'm going. It's the only door here except for the one we just came in through. And this is the exit. No shit, Sherlock. Of course it's locked. Is it an electronic lock? No, just a keyhole right under the doorknob. So to open the door, we gotta find the key that fits the hole. Yeah, that's how doors work. There's a metal panel over the outside of the window. Oh gee, look at this. There are 6 holes here, and it looks like the pins I just found would be a perfect fit for them. The ones you found in the 9 boxes, right? Well, why don't you try it? All right, let's see what happens. I think 2, 4, and 6 should go here in the top part, and 3, 5, and 7 on the bottom. Well, some of them lit up. Yeah, 3 and 6. Wonder if there's some kind of rule that determines which lights go on. Oh, here we go. Digital root. Digital root. You think maybe it's the digital root? Yeah, I do. Yeah, no more math. Come on now. Or at least don't explain it to me. I know what the digital root is, damn it. Therefore, light 6 turns on. Makes sense, right? I see. The lights that match the digital root of the pins inserted on the top and lower parts will light up. So that's how it works. Well, there's one other thing I'd like to check. If he wants to try, he's certainly welcome to. So, he'd put the 1, 2, 3 pins on the top and the 6, 7, 8 pins on the bottom. Oh. They turned off. 6, 7, 8, 21. The digital root 21 is 3. Therefore, light 3 turns off. 1, 2, 3 equals 6. Digital root of 6 is 6. Therefore, light 6 turns off. Ooh, I get it now. The digital roots for the pins you insert is the same as the number on the lights that are lit. Those lights turn off. Yeah, it looks like that's a trick. All right, now we know how it works. You want to give it a try? You know what we're supposed to do with these lights? Yeah, light up each one, damn it. Well, no, but I figure we could try and see if we can turn them all on, you know? Figure something's got to happen if we can manage that. Turn on the lights, huh? Okay, Junpei, let's make sure we know how this works, or oh my god. Yeah, digital root, turn on lights. I got it, let's go. Let's just do what he did. That should have turned those on though, right? Why did... Oh, they both were to 6, sorry. Okay. Come on. Thank you. Digital root of 1. Oh, it has a built-in one. So now, there we go. Ugh, Jesus. It does. All right. There we go. All right, so number 8. Yeah, these. Let's see, it's 13. Yeah. That'll give us 8. And now 4. There we go. All the lights are on and the shutters opened up. Hey, does that mean, yeah, we got to do it again? What? Man, I thought I was doing so well. So we've got 9 holes and there's an F above them. I don't know what the F means, but I do know one thing. F to pay respect, possibly. Stahor hit a keyboard. Okay. Moonlighter is a fun game. Dog is happy. What's that? This time there are 9 holes, so we need to insert 9 pins. Man, that's boring. Well, why don't you just try it, all right? Yeah, I'm sure there's more to it than this. I'm just... I didn't do shit. Yeah, I honestly have no bloody clue now. F equals 6. Yeah, we could try that. I don't like this right here, how it's like click, click, click. Yeah, that bugs me. That didn't work. Probably don't need to mess with that. Okay. You think maybe this F means 15? Where the hell did you get that? 15. Yeah, 15 in base 10 is F in hex, right? You're right. That's got to be it. What? Okay. So I just need to what? Make 15? I mean, that's fairly easy. Not sure. And there's so many ways we could do that. Doesn't do anything. Each line has to add up to 15. Okay, that I can understand. Well, then we can just start at the top. It doesn't fit with the rest of the game's puzzle style, though, does it? Yeah, you've got a point, Stahor. I've never played any of those games in my life. That means the vertical lines too? Oh, Jesus. Well, in that case... So like that, we have 15 and 15 here. No, that's too much. Okay. Yeah, I kind of feel like I messed this up. So 5 and diagonally, I would imagine. That is not gonna work. No, I think I messed this up. Because, yeah, that's not quite right. There we go. There we go. No? That's 15. That's 15. That's 15. That's 15. That's 15. And that's 15. Yeah, they all say 15. Oh, that's right. Okay. Anyway, let's put the 8 in the middle. What the hell? Oh, I clicked outside the box. Yeah, I wasn't looking at that. Oh, okay. I'll try it a little bit more first. So yeah. Probably don't want the one in the middle to be a high number in that case. Because, yeah. Because let's see, no matter if we put... Oh, you're fine. The diagonal lines are a bit of a problem. Throw the one up here. Well, let's try this. Well, that's not 15. Good God. Okay. So diagonal again. Let's start from just one number. That won't add up over here. Maybe I will stick with the 8 in the middle then. Okay. Okay. So that's 15. That's 15. That's 15. That's 15. That's 15. And again, here it isn't. Here's where we messed up again. Yeah, is that 7, 8, 9? God damn. Yep. Had it everywhere else, just not there. This is gonna get annoying. Okay. It is a bit harder than the other puzzles, yeah. I'm all right. All right, so let's try to knock out the diagonal real fast. Okay. That won't work. Nope, not that one. Neither will the 6. So I'd have to go with some lower numbers over here. Wrong number. Except again, the 6 can't go there. Can't go there. Can't go anywhere across from that. Let's switch that up. Have 8 at the bottom. Yeah. Try putting that there. Try that. 4, 5. It's 9, so we put the 6 here, but we can't have the 6 on the same row as the 9. Not gonna happen there. All we know is if we're gonna do this, I know 1 has to be here. So let's try to complete with just like the 9 rows, shall we? Then that's not gonna work. Yeah, the 8 doesn't work. So I don't think the 9 goes there. Let's move it over 1. All right, so it's the wrong ass number. I'm still gonna stick with no. So yeah. We weren't there very long, so I'm not too worried about it. There we go. All pins inserted, all lights lit. We did it. The power's on now. Looks like there's electricity going to the monitor on top now. All right, let's see if we can activate the device on the top. Yeah, well, it's a puzzle game. What do you expect? A green button, a red button, and a lever. I wonder what these do. I think this might help. What the hell is this? Where did you find this? What is that? Where'd you find it? What are you talking about? I found it when you were messing around with the pinholes. Looks like instructions for this thing. According to what it says here, this thing's a remote control for that. That. Yeah, that. What he's pointing. Oh, the machine over there. Apparently it's called the Pushmaster 5000. Is it? Are you serious? So what are we supposed to do with the Pushmaster 5000? You see the coffin over on top of the crate? Okay, I do now. I did not notice that before. Yeah. Don't you want to know what the deal is with it? I do. You want to check it out? Yeah. All right. How do you think we're going to get there? Well, there were some crates on the right side of the fence that someone piled up like stairs. Maybe if we make a path to the coffin from there. And how would you do that? Using the Pushmaster 5000. Line up the crates, I guess. Sounds about right. I guess it's just another one of Zero's puzzles. Yeah. Anyway, let's give it a shot. Runs off of a battery, so to keep it from using up its energy too fast, it's been programmed so it only starts moving once its path has been completely programmed in. Gotcha. All right, let's go. What was added? Okay, so that quits. All right, cool. So the reset button allows me to start over. All right, let's give this a try. Sure thing. Just keep in mind there is a limit on the battery, all right? The battery dies after 50 moves. At least that's what it says in the manual. 50 moves, huh? Also, keep in mind the Pushmaster can't move the heavy metal crates, okay? Got it. When a square adjacent to the Pushmaster 5000 is clicked, the Pushmaster 5000 will move to that square. If there's a crate in the way, the Pushmaster 5000 will push up to a single crate. Move the crates appropriately and efficiently and fill the yellow areas. Ah. Huh. Okay. Crap. No, I don't want to do that. Reset, reset, reset. I do want to push these over, both of them over one. Can I move into these spots over here? I can. Well, that makes things easier. Kinda. Now I just want to get back over here. I am not at doing this efficiently, and that's fine. Oh, I can't get that one now. God damn it. Ah, crap. I'm going to get stuck again. Okay. Get this one out of the way. But now I can't move any of those. God damn it. Okay. Actually, I do need to keep that. I do have to move this out of the way. Don't think I want to put this one in yet. There we go. I'm gonna run out of moves, but okay. Let's see what I'm doing. Ugh. Yep, I have to leave a space so I can move them up and down in this box. Yep. So yeah. Okay. Put you here. Get these clear so I can actually move around. Yeah, my problem is trying to set up a path over here. Because what I want to do is I want to get around behind this. I could have just done that. Okay. That would make sense. Put the robot in first. It said no, the space has to be clear. That's not actually going to work. No, I can't use one box to push another one now. All right, so I know what I want to do. That's not actually what I want to do. God damn it. I'm gonna run out of moves though. Yep. No, I get it, dude. I get it. They gave me an extra one. I see. I do feel like I have to do this. But then, yeah, I can't get underneath that one. Son of a... Nope, don't do that. Yeah, I can't move that now. So yeah, I have to move these first. I can move you back. That one needs to move over. Then yeah, I'd have to move that one here, but I don't have enough room, enough time. So is that Stahor? Eh. Yeah, that would work. Not really. I don't have any way to get in there except going all the way around. I would have if I had done that a little bit more efficiently. But yeah. So, shit, that's in the way now. Yeah. Okay, come all the way around. Nope. Not quite enough. Move the top ones first. Yeah, I guess I could try that, but not a lot of places to put them. Because, yeah, if I move this one, they're all going to be stuck, and it's already, yeah. Okay. 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 Look at the guide. Oh, you mean the hint thing up here? Yeah, it's just the normal instructions. Cannot lift heavy objects. All right. See, well, didn't do that very efficiently, but that's fine. Get this one out of the way. Crap, I shouldn't have moved that one down. Move you out of the way. Well, I messed up the efficiency on that one. Because, yeah, I need to make room so I can push this one on. Yep, I'm always a few short. So yeah. So yeah, no matter what, I have to leave space down here at the bottom to get through. Which also means opening up space here. However, I can knock this out right now. Probably what I should do. Nope, not gonna make it. You want to see the hint screen again? Okay. There you go, Helios. Okay. I'm trying. It's not actually pushing these over. So yeah. I mean, it'd be nice, but yeah, nah, it won't let me. And I can't actually get under that one. Let's do this. That still leaves me with a one that's stuck. The not a penis was better. Well, I can try it. Problem is, if I'm going to put the top ones in first, I have to clear the path down here. So I actually have room to move. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, so I could finish that off there. Let's do this. Yeah, I'm not gonna have time. Closer. That is true, but all the other characters have started annoying me, so the list has still gotten smaller. Okay, I need to try to... No, I don't want to move that one down to the bottom. Seven and Lotus are on it, yes. I have no way to get out of here now. I think this is the same deal. I'm gonna run out of time. Don't really have a lot of room to move, though, unless I just did that. That still doesn't give me a lot of room to move with anything else either. Yeah. What do I do next? Just be quiet and watch. See, it's moving already. But yeah, very much. Those are the very short list of people I'm trying to save right now. Santa, eh. Awesome. The Pushmaster 5000 just did just what I told it to, and it lined up all the crates. I agree. Great, now we can reach the coffin. Yes, climb the fence. You climb the fence, though. I don't want to climb an I don't want to crawl over an electric fence. At all. No, I already clicked on that.
Mommy!
Okay, I don't want to save Santa anymore.
Oh.
Just kidding.
Really?
Whatever. Just open it.
Okay, okay.
Here we
A
go.
small key and
I will take that.
a gun?
Yes, give me the gun.
Yeah, a revolver.
It looks pretty old.
I wonder if this is a replica.
I doubt it.
This thing is... Are these real bullets? Oh, if this is real... Oh.
You're not gonna take it?
Of course not. All something like this is gonna do is cause more trouble.
Take the fucking gun.
It's a powerful weapon that gives one person a huge advantage. Something like that would be way too dangerous to have around. We're in enough danger already.
Yeah, I suppose you're right.
Maybe Zero put this gun here, hoping that something like that might happen. In other words, maybe he put it here to make us fight each other.
In that case, we should most certainly leave it here. I, for one, have no desire to let Zero control me.
One of you guys is gonna pick it up, aren't you? I'm gonna leave it here, and one of you fuckers is gonna pick it up.
Me neither.
Okay, we've got that figured out. But you aren't gonna leave that key in there, are you?
Of course not. We'll take that with us.
The rusty key. Maybe I can use this. Maybe. What was this thing for? Jumpy, I know. I'll be there in just a minute. Now's not the time to be thinking about the coffin. Yep. Nope, not gonna let me take the gun. Put the key in here, and yes, sounds like that did it. Yay! Looks like it's open, Jumpy. What about the murderer on the loose? No, I agree. We should definitely have the gun for the murderer. I see this key should open this door. Let's go. After you fuckers, let's go. Through the door. Through the door.
A long hallway, huh?
Let's check it out.
We've seen this elevator before.
Yes.
We got off the one on the left just a little while ago.
Uh-huh.
Then we went through the number 6 door, and that took us to the engine room.
Yes, and after that we passed through the cargo room.
And now we're back here.
In other words, we made a loop. We're back where we started. We needed a card to get to this point.
I don't see a card reader here.
Perhaps we aren't able to activate it from this location.
Why don't
Or
you
it
just
doesn't
try
need a
pushing the
card.
button?
Exactly, Santa.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need the fucking card if there's no card reader. That would work, Zahor.
I
Or at
think
least not.
so.
At least it's better than leaving it in there, yeah.
Good. Now we can go back if we need to.
What do we do? Should we return to C-Deck?
No, this hallway keeps going. Even if we do end up going back, I think we should see what's down there first.
I agree. Let's go. Looks like it ends here.
Only one door.
All
There
right.
isn't anything else. It's the
All right, let's open it.
Open the door. And corpses. Nope, it's the number 9 door.
The 9 door.
This is a church. This is a chapel.
Of course it wouldn't be that easy.
That's a good point, too. The bars aren't close enough. Especially since we have some really small people in this group.
Vacant. Huh. We finally found it.
Jumpy!
Huh?
Look! Behind you!
What? A 9 door. There's another one.
Mm-hmm. Because multiples of you needed to get out. How did you think?
Why? It's 9, no matter how you look at it. The red is there too. So this is a real one? Why? Why the hell are there 2 doors?
There were always 2 doors. I mean, if you think about it,
Yeah.
Zero never actually said there was only one door with a 9 on it.
It is hidden, but an exit can be found. Seek a way out. Seek a door that carries a 9.
There are a lot of areas we've seen where we could have done that. Yeah, Helios.
Of course, we just assumed that there was only one. After all, why would there be more than one?
There's no more than 5 people can go through a damn door.
Oh, man. We fell for it. There are 2 doors. That means that all 9 people who had met at the central staircase could escape. No one would be left behind. Now it makes sense why the bracelets are numbers. 1 through 9. Divided into teams of 4 and 5 people. The digital root of both teams ends up being 9. Take
Yes.
1278 and 34569, for example. The digital root, or 2349 and 15678. The digital root, there are a bunch of combinations that work, and they all end up the same way. If one team has the digital root of 9, so would the other one. What does that mean? The answer's simple. From the very beginning, the Nonary game was designed to save all 9 people. That's how it was meant to be. Zero didn't lie. He never said there'd be only one 9 door. But anyone who'd found themselves in the game would have assumed that was the case. Fights would have broken out. One team would likely betray or deceive the other. Someone might be hurt. Someone might get killed. But eventually, they'd reach this very same room and realize how pointless all their infighting was. There were 2 doors. There was no need to kill each other. This game was designed for that purpose. This Nonary game. We were all arguing and fighting over doors at the beginning. But if there had been one slip-up, one tiny mistake that led to more, everything could have been so much worse now.
Like all of us getting stabbed.
So, what are we going to do, Junpei?
Huh? Oh, right.
Hey, keep it together, man.
Could wait for the other team.
Sorry.
Jeez. So what do we do?
Wait for everybody else. They're going to get here.
What do you...
Everything loops back.
We need to think about our next step.
Our numbers are 1, 3, 5, and 6. That's a digital root of 6.
The 4 of us can't open the number 9 door.
The 4. Wait, don't tell me.
Yep. There's one combination that'll let 3 of us open the 9 door. That's why I'm asking, what now?
What now? No, we gotta go back.
Yep.
I agree. We cannot leave June behind.
Are you sure? I
I
don't
mean-
mind staying.
I don't mind leaving her. But yeah, I mean, I imagine that's probably one of the endings is nobody gets left behind, dog is happy.
It's okay. There's no way we'd leave you behind.
Besides, I'd rather drown at the bottom of the ocean than escape with this sausage fest. Maybe I'll get to go to Atlanta.
Are you sure you don't mean Atlantis?
Jesus Christ.
Huh? Oh.
You guys.
Very well. Best we head back to C-Deck then. We should be able to take the elevator we passed earlier. Perhaps Clover, 7, and Lotus will have returned from door 1.
But even with all 7 of us,
Standing around here isn't going to accomplish anything, don't you agree?
The way I responded to your comment was just, yeah, there's probably an ending in the game that lets you keep them all alive somehow.
Let's find the other 3 first, and then search for another solution.
I guess you're right.
Which I kind of wonder how that would work, considering we don't really have any options. Maybe... Yeah, we really don't have any way to stop number 9 from blowing his ass up. We don't have any choices to make before then.
All right, let's go.
Yeah.
But if it's like a lot of visual novels, sometimes new paths get unlocked because you've unlocked previous endings.
Okay.
Huh.
Oh,
Come to
this-
think of it. What is this room? We were so focused on the doors, we didn't even look around. Huh.
It's a chapel.
It looks like it's set up for some kind of ceremony.
It's a chapel.
But what kind? Huh. A coffin? What on earth is a coffin doing in a place like this?
Hey, Junpei, the hell are you doing? Let's move.
Calm your shit.
I'll be right there.
Oh, damn. That's gotta suck.
Look, it's...
You wake up just in time, like you're trapped in a coffin. You wake up just in time to hear the dudes leaving.
7 and Lotus.
We've got a problem.
Clover is gone.
Oh, I think we know where Clover might be.
What? What do you mean, gone?
When?
Why?
You two went into door 1 with Clover, didn't you?
Yeah, we went through the door together.
But Clover barely spoke to us.
She just did her own thing the whole time.
There were 4 rooms on the other side of door 1.
She wouldn't let us into the 4th room.
She just said, I'll take care of this one.
And shut the door.
Huh.
She must have blocked it with something on the other side.
We waited for a while, but Clover didn't come out.
We called for her, but she didn't answer.
So I kicked down the door and we went into the room.
But
It was empty.
Clover wasn't there,
There was a door on the other wall.
and it was open.
We figure she opened the door and left by herself.
We ran after her, of course, but
Well, obviously we didn't find her. You figured that much out.
Yeah.
Clover's gone.
When did this happen?
We got here just before you.
You certainly have excellent timing.
So you haven't searched anywhere other than near the staircase?
Nope.
No, we haven't.
Very well then. We'd best separate and look for Clover.
All right.
We haven't much time left. Let's begin.
Yeah.
Let's go looking
She's
for the
not
other
here.
sibling.
No, she isn't.
All right, just in case, we should go take a look in the shower room.
Shower room?
That's where her brother is. She might have gone to see him. Well, we might as well check, right? Let's go. Good. We can still get in.
Don't know why that keeps changing on its own.
We should thank Seven later.
Junpei and June slipped through the door, moved down the hallway, and stepped into the shower room.
No luck.
Yeah, I don't think she's here.
June's voice was faint, and she placed her hands over her mouth. Her face looked a little green.
The smell is horrible.
All right, see you later, Helios. The stench in the room was almost unbearable. It had grown far more unpleasant since their last visit. If Junpei had eaten a lunch, he would have had difficulty retaining it. He wanted to leave the room as soon as possible. He had to be sure, and the only way to be sure was to check the other side of the divider.
Let's check the back.
June offered no resistance and nodded weakly to Junpei as he headed around the divider. He stopped at the corner and turned his head.
No, she's not here.
As he'd expected, Clover was nowhere to be seen. The only thing on the other side of the divider was a dead body lying in a reddish-brown puddle of dry and drying blood.
Snake. Just where did your sister go?
Junpei whispered to what was Snake. He'd asked rhetorically, of course, as there was no way he'd get an answer. He gave a deep sigh.
Such a horrible way to go. The skull shattered, the left arm's hideously twisted. Huh? Wait.
Noticed something you should have noticed earlier. The bright white of the ulna was clearly visible through the remains of skin and muscle. Bright white. Ulna. He doesn't have that arm.
Bones.
The pieces fell into place. Junpei remembered something Clover had told him in the laboratory.
My brother's left arm is, it's not like a normal person's arm. The accident hurt him really bad.
Of course. Of course. Why didn't I realize it earlier?
Because you didn't know he had a fake arm. Clover had told Junpei that Snake's left arm was prosthetic. But the left arm of the corpse behind the dividers was quite clearly a real human arm. Or at least it had been once. That meant the corpse.
Jumpy?
June's unsure voice at Junpei's suddenly strange behavior drew his attention back to her.
Sorry for making you wait. Let's go.
Junpei and June headed back toward the large hospital room. They stepped through the door and out of the shower room. Down the hallway they went, searching for Clover in every corner. They had reached the stairs when Seven appeared, breathless and yelling.
Junpei! June! Where were you guys?
Doing what we're supposed to do, looking. He looked pale and his face was drawn. Something terrible had happened. Junpei's breath caught in his throat.
Did something happen?
Seven drew a shaking hand across his face and gulped down a breath of air.
Clover is dead.
Oh, okay.
I found her in the first-class bathroom.
I see. The hell is that noise, dude? Okay. All sound ceased for Junpei. The world was an empty, muffled expanse. Then he began to hear his own breathing. June's mouth moved, but he heard nothing. She tried once more, and then her energy was gone, and she collapsed against the wall. Stop collapsing! He could have helped her, but he hadn't, and now she was dead. So he stood there frozen in place.
Clover. Clover. Why? Why did this happen?
He forced his body to move. Each step felt like another nail pounded in his heart. Finally, he was in front of her. He knelt and placed 3 fingers against Clover's neck. No pulse, no breath. But she was still warm and her eyes were closed peacefully. It would have been easy to think she was asleep. Easy, that is, were it not for the slowly expanding puddle of blood beneath her. He traced its source to her back. A gash just beneath her shoulder blade. Was the weapon a knife, perhaps? If it was a knife, the killer had taken it when they left. I have no idea. When he closed his eyes, he saw Clover's smile. Her innocent smile, her energy. He would never see her smile again. Honestly, dude, if you guys had all gotten off the ship, you probably wouldn't have kept in touch.
No way.
He could have done something. He could have helped her. His stomach twisted itself into a sickening knot.
Let's get out of here, June.
Junpei lifted a limp June from the floor and carried her from the bathroom. All right, see you later, man.
Are you all right?
It was a foolish question and he knew it.
Yes, I think so.
Her voice was weak. The fever had gone down, but the emotional scars she'd received were not likely to recede as quickly. Junpei laid his hand on her shoulder and they walked back to the bedroom.
You should get some rest. Here, the bed. Can you sit?
Yes.
She nodded once and stared at the floor. There were 4 others in the room. Ace, Lotus, Santa, and Seven. They all stared at nothing, their faces drawn and tired. After a while, they drifted in the bathroom to see Clover's corpse themselves. Once everyone was back in the bedroom, Junpei walked slowly to the center of it and looked around as the slumped figures gathered there.
Who was the first to find the body?
Me.
Seven spoke from behind Junpei. He turned around. Seven's hand was up.
Why did you come to this room?
To look for Clover. Why else? I found her body in the bathroom. As soon as I did, I ran outside. I got to the top of the stairs by the casino and yelled as loud as I could. Hey, guys! I found her, but it's bad! She's in the bathroom in the first-class cabin! Come quick! Or something like that.
All right.
Then I went back to the bathroom. Ace, Santa, and Lotus showed up real soon after that. But I guess you two hadn't heard me or something because you didn't show. So I took off down the stairs to look for you. After that, I mean, you know the rest, right?
Junpei nodded and closed his eyes. There was one more thing he needed to ask.
There's one more thing I'm worried about.
What?
You stuck one of those plates in between the door and the frame, right? Why did you do that?
Come on, didn't I already tell you that? I did it so that the door wouldn't lock. So we could come back to this room? Oh, you think I did it?
He's been doing that at every door, though, not just this one.
Well, I don't know. That kind of depends on what you say, doesn't it?
For crying out loud.
Seven sighed and shook his head.
Follow me.
There were 2 doors standing next to one another. He opened the one on the right.
A closet?
Yeah.
Seven stepped inside. He stood in front of one of the shelves that filled it and gestured toward a small box. The box was a small metal cube. Oh, here we go. He looked at Junpei.
This is the reason. This safe. We couldn't open it when we were getting through this room. I figured there might be something pretty important in it. I couldn't stop thinking about it. I figured eventually we might figure out what the numbers are for the safe. And if we did, I didn't want to screw around with door 5 again. So I put the plate in the exit door so we could get back in that way. You get it now?
I mean, he explained all this. He didn't want to have to go through the damn numbered doors again. He explained all that when we first came through these rooms.
Yeah.
Junpei nodded and looked at the safe. He grabbed the handle and shook it. I'm pretty sure that's not going to
Figured
work.
it wouldn't open.
It was as locked as it had been when Seven found it.
Huh?
There was one change, however.
This is...
Just underneath the safe was a pile of fine reddish-brown powder.
rust.
Junpei stared at it,
If
considering.
there's rust here, that means... Has someone opened the safe?
Junpei left the closet. Seven followed him back to the bedroom.
Huh?
It was cold and quiet. No one spoke. They sat frozen in place by shock and grief and fatigue. The room felt tiny and oppressive, and the thick metallic smell of blood filled the room. Junpei turned and headed for the living room. Anything to get out of there.
Maybe there's another clue. Anything that might lead us to discover who stabbed Clover.
As quickly as they could, they searched around and under the beds and in the corners. His eyes caught on the door. The door that led to the passageway of door number 5.
Behind this door.
Is another body, supposedly.
The ninth man's body is behind there. Maybe I should have another look at it, just in case.
Go for it. Quietly, he pushed open the door.
Ugh.
The smell hit him like a blow to the face.
Oh, the hell? This smell is...
His lungs contracted, unwilling to inhale such air. Acid boiled up from the base of his stomach, churning what little food was there into a violent froth. Violent froth, Jesus. It was too much for him, and he vomited. A thin stream of yellow water and bile spattered onto the floor. He wiped his mouth weakly and stared at the dead body. Chunks of torn flesh lay in an arc around the body. We've seen this. What remained of its intestines had slid out onto the floor. The pool of blood that framed it was half dry, but so thick that it had taken on a texture not unlike that of an egg yolk prepared sunny side up. Well, that's an interesting description. On the floor next to the broken mass of the man's head lay his glasses, cracks spidering across the lenses. The bloodstains near them had already dried like scabs on the floor.
Wait.
That was when he noticed.
It's gone.
His bracelet.
His bracelet. It's gone.
Mm-hmm.
It was right next to the glasses.
We've been thinking somebody took the bracelet for a while now. But now, it was gone. The number 9 bracelet was gone.
But why?
Had someone taken it? He was turning it over and over in his mind when he heard Seven's voice.
Huh? Where'd Junpei go?
It had drifted out to him from the living room. Junpei walked slowly out of the hallway.
Oh, there you are. Were you looking for something in the hallway?
Seven looked up as Junpei entered the room.
Did you find something?
He thought for a moment before he responded.
No, nothing.
I mean, technically, he didn't find anything. Technically, it wasn't a lie. Well, there we go. He hadn't found anything. In a way, in fact, that was the problem. Something he'd expected to find hadn't been there. The ninth man's bracelet.
What's up?
So does he figure that Ace did Snake?
Well, I wanted you to take a look at something.
What is it?
Seven led Junpei back to the bathroom.
Clover.
As Clover's corpse came into view, he felt his heart flip and then fall to the bottom of his stomach. Is her bracelet gone too? Something between a sigh and a groan escaped his lips.
What was it you wanted to show me?
His voice was hollow and empty.
I searched Clover's body again. A real shame. She was stabbed once in the back, probably by a knife or something. And I found this.
As he spoke, he moved around Clover's head, then knelt down and flipped open her right hand.
What?
She was holding a piece of paper.
I haven't actually looked at it yet. Didn't want to disturb the crime scene, you know? Basic stuff. Well, I did borrow one thing.
What?
He wasn't sure what that meant, but it likely didn't matter. The bracelet. The paper was more
I'm
important.
opening it.
He picked it up and carefully opened it. There were 2 sentences written on it.
Truth had gone, and truth had gone. Ah, now truth is asleep in the darkness of the sinister hand.
What is this? Some kind of secret code?
Seven peered over Junpei's shoulder at the note. Junpei stepped away from Clover's body and into the living room. He began to pace, attempting to decode the note.
A code.
The first clue was likely the phrase sinister hand. Sinister hand means, I would assume, the left. That'd be my guess.
Sinister was a term used in heraldry that meant to the left of the bearer of a coat of arms. The left hand. The left hand. What does the left hand mean?
All right. See you next time. Dog is happy. Junpei looked at his own left arm, at the bracelet on his wrist.
Does the darkness of the sinister hand have something to do with the bracelet?
He examined the bracelet closely.
There's 2 things sticking out on either side of the face. The left and right sides of the face. Left and right. Left and right. Right and left. Truth is gone. Truth gone.
Truth, gone. Maybe those 2 words. How about reading them backwards, huh?
Maybe there's something about how they sound out loud. Truth. Gone. Nope. They sounded the same in my head.
I imagine, yeah. Time for a different idea.
How about switching the sentence around? Gone had truth. Well, that makes even less sense.
Uh-huh.
Clearly, switching the words isn't going to help.
I'm gonna do reading them backwards because I am very curious what he comes up with.
How about reading them backwards? Gone and truth. Enog and Hittert. What am I saying?
I know, right?
Those aren't even words. I doubt that's what the riddle was trying to say. Wasn't a bad idea, though.
Oh, it was a bad idea.
What else could gone and truth mean? Truth, of course, means something that is correct, something that's fact. In other words, something that is right. You could then safely assume that gone means left. After all, after someone left, they were gone. But in this case,
this is a bit of a reach.
Refer to their directional homonyms. Then truth equals right, and gone equals left.
Mm-hmm. Junpei looked at the bracelet again.
The left and right of the bracelet. These 2 things sticking out. So if I
press them in the following order, that is not what it is. Not right, 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 left, 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 left. That's the only one that appears to be in the right order. And then one after another, 8 numbers flashed on, then off of the face of Junpei's bracelet.
Wait, did it just
change numbers? Yes, it did. He checked one more time to be sure. One 14383421.
14383421.
Huh? Hey, what are those numbers?
Junpei didn't answer. He couldn't answer. He had no idea what they were either. Besides, he was sure he would forget the numbers and the order they came in if he said anything.
1438342
Hey, y'all motherfuckers gonna make me write this down, aren't you? Because I'm sure as fuck not gonna remember that. All right, let's go. Muttering the numbers to himself over and over, Junpei headed toward the bedroom.
143833421. 143833421.
That is a
143833421. 143833421.
Before long, he found himself in front of the safe again. Its lock was the only device he could think of that required a sequence of numbers such as the ones he just discovered. Besides, someone had opened the safe at least once already. Had Clover come to the bedroom to open it? Junpei slowly dialed in the numbers the bracelet had given him.
1 to the right, 4 to the left, and... oh,
all the rest of them.
Bingo. I knew it was for this.
A small telltale sound of a lock opening. He grabbed the handle, took a deep breath, and pulled it up.
oh, is this some sort of note?
Inside was a piece of paper. It was roughly the same size as the one Clover had been holding.
Let's see.
Junpei picked it up. This is what it said. Fact 1. The nonary game was played once before 9 years ago. Fact 2. The person with the number 2 bracelet attended the game 9 years ago. So Snake. Fact 3. It was planned by the following 4 people. Was planned by the following 4 people: Cradle Pharmaceuticals CEO, which is Ace, Nagisa Nijisaki. Wait a minute. Isn't that her name? Isn't that Lotus's name? Like, she never tells us, but isn't that the name that when Seven flashed back and he was trying to remember the last name of the kids? Cradle Pharmaceuticals R&D supervisor, Kubota. Majority shareholder in Cradle Pharmaceuticals, Musashido. Ah, okay. I must punish them for the innocent lives they sacrificed. This is the only warning they will receive. That innocent souls might be saved. I now state the truth. 0. Junpei left the closet. There were 5 people waiting for him in the bedroom. Ace, Lotus, Santa, Seven, and June. He looked at each one of them in turn, then slowly placed his hands in the pockets of his vest.
Sorry, but do you think you could all come with me?
Come with you?
I want all of you to go to the big hospital room.
Why?
There's something I want to be sure of.
Get your asses over
What
there.
do you want to be sure of?
I want to know if the person I suspect is really the culprit.
Wait, then you're saying...
Yeah, I think I've got it figured out. I know who killed Snake and Clover.
The atmosphere in the room changed. Grief was suddenly gone, replaced by attention like a strap of leather stretched to its limit. 5 sets of eyes stared at Junpei. He pretended not to notice.
Anyway, if you could all please move to the big hospital room. I'll explain everything as soon as we get there.
It'd be hilarious if Junpei has the gun. Like, even we didn't know Junpei's got the gun, but he picked it up. Then, almost as if on cue, the bell began to ring. They all heard it. We have 1 hour.
It's 5 o'clock.
We've only got an hour
We don't
left.
have a lot of time left. Let's go.
Slowly, one by one, they followed Junpei out of the bedroom.
Actually, before we get started, I was hoping you could do something for me.
Junpei stopped in front of door number 3 and turned
Ace,
around.
7, and Lotus, could you please place your palms on the red?
Hmm?
Huh?
Why? If we need to get to the shower room, why don't we just...
No, we're not going inside. Once you've authenticated, step away from the door.
All right.
Please, just do it. Or perhaps you don't want to know who killed Snake and Clover.
Junpei's implication was clear, and Seven understood perfectly.
Fine.
What about you, Ace? Lotus?
Very well.
Sure.
Quickly, they pressed their palms onto the red. Once they had finished, they stepped away from the door as Junpei had instructed. 3 asterisks shone from the red's display
I have
panel.
this idea. I don't think this device responds to a hand placed on it. It instead reacts to a bracelet being brought close. You don't actually need a hand.
I mean, we kind of figured that the first time we went through this, but okay. Junpei approached and held his bracelet over the scanner. He made quite sure he didn't place his palm on it and instead only brought his bracelet near it. The 4th asterisk appeared.
I knew it.
Just as Junpei had expected, it was possible to authenticate without placing one's palm on the red, so long as the bracelet was brought near it. Junpei pulled the lever. Door 3 opened like a hungry mouth. 9 long seconds passed. And the door shut, unfed. Junpei walked slowly back to the others who were waiting some distance from the door, talking to one another. Probably saying, man, this motherfucker's crazy. The hell is wrong with him? Santa and June had joined them as well.
Huh?
It looked as though they hadn't found a chance to break into the conversation yet. As Junpei approached, they turned to look at him, curiosity plain on their faces. Before long, the other 3 did as well.
What was that about?
How should I know?
Ooh, Ace has something in mind.
Thanks. I appreciate your cooperation.
Clearly, they'd hoped for something more forthcoming. He continued.
By the way, Ace, would you mind if I asked you something?
What is it?
Do you know who I am?
Huh?
What?
Oh,
What kind of question?
he's asking about the face thing.
Just answer it, please. Who am
You're Junpei, of course. Who else would you be?
Unfortunately, that's the wrong answer. Actually, I'm Santa.
What?
Ace's voice was full of surprise, but was also tinged with confusion and fear. Everyone else looked nearly as surprised. Santa looked especially shocked to discover he was actually someone else. If he spoke, however, the trap would be exposed. Junpei quickly
The
continued.
clothes I'm wearing, I borrowed from Junpei. And the clothes he's wearing are mine. We had a little swap.
That's ridiculous. Impossible.
So, you're saying I'm not Santa?
Of course you aren't.
Why? What makes you so sure I'm not Santa?
If you were Santa, then door 3 wouldn't have opened for us just now. 1 + 7 + 8 + 3 = 19. 1 + 9 would be 10. The digital route would be 1. But the 4 of us just opened door 3. You can't possibly be Santa. Your bracelet number isn't 3.
So that's not the reasoning, though.
It's 5, right?
Yes, we figured it out. Only then, when it was too late, did Ace realize his mistake. He set his jaw and glared at
You're
Junpei.
exactly right. My bracelet number is 5.
As he spoke, Junpei lifted his wrist up to show everyone the bright red 5 on his wrist.
Sorry, Ace. I tricked you. Of course, I'm not really Santa. I'm Junpei. Who could possibly think I was? It's obvious I'm not. To think I was? Ridiculous. But I guess you couldn't see just how obvious it was. I asked you before, didn't I? What makes you so sure I'm not Santa? And you answered. If you were Santa, then door 3 wouldn't have opened for us just now. Most people wouldn't say something like that. The first thing that would come to anyone else's mind wouldn't be the bracelet number. There'd only be one thing they'd say. One sentence. You don't have his face. Ace, you have prosopagnosia, am I right?
Junpei's voice was quiet and calm. He knew the truth, so did Ace.
Prosopagnosia.
The others looked confused.
What's that?
No clue.
Prosopagnosia is...
He heard Lotus begin to explain it to them. Ace glanced at them, then turned back toward Junpei and sighed.
Very well. I confess. I have prosopagnosia. I cannot differentiate human faces. Is that what this was about? You want to mock me for my disorder?
No, not at all. I'm not making fun of you at all. In fact, I feel kind of bad for you. No, the reason I brought this up is that there's an excellent chance the person who killed Snake has prosopagnosia.
Ace's face tightened, his eyes narrowed.
What do you mean?
Junpei leaned casually against the iron piping of one of the beds.
I'll just come right out with it. I think it was you, Ace. You killed him.
The looks of shock. Junpei was suddenly very aware of five pairs of eyes on him. He had their undivided attention now. The room had grown very, very quiet. Junpei took a deep breath.
That's ridiculous. What possible evidence do you...
I have 3 pieces of evidence. The first, think back to a few hours ago. You made us argue over the 3 doors here in the big hospital room. There was no way all 7 people could go through them. Lotus suggested that we sacrifice one of us.
Lotus looked away awkwardly. Junpei glanced at her and continued.
Then you, Ace, said, I'll stay here. Why would you say something like that? It's pretty... You didn't want us to see the dead body in the shower room. You see, if Ace stayed behind, there were only 2 doors the rest of us could go through.
And he didn't stop us when we chose to go through door 3 because he'd already passed out.
Doors 7 and 8. There was no way we could get through door 3, the shower room. You knew that, didn't you, Ace? That's why you volunteered to stay behind.
Come on now. I think that's going a bit far. I can understand if you're jealous of my bravery, but...
Oh, God. And how do we know it happened? Well, the bracelet.
Please don't devalue my actions. I only wanted to save the rest of you. Surely you can understand my altruism.
Altruism, huh?
Junpei stared off in the darkness at something very interesting and lazily began to dig a persistent bit of wax out of his ear. Oh, come on, dude.
You already knew, didn't you? You knew that whichever doors we took, eventually we'd end up back in the big hospital room.
What on earth are you saying? Of course I didn't know that. How could I have?
Really?
Yes.
Bleeding was not something they'd heard from Ace before. Junpei pulled the piece of wax from his ear. Enough with the wax! Glanced at it and flicked it off into the darkness.
Oh well, that's cool. I've still got 2 more pieces of evidence that say you're the killer. The second is that, as I said earlier, you have prosopagnosia.
Then you mean to imply that a person who can't distinguish human faces must be a bad person? Junpei, they call that prejudice.
No, I am not that stupid.
Then why?
Well, before I explain, I suppose there's something I should tell you. The corpse in the shower room. It's not Snake's.
What?
Ace's face went pale. The others looked confused as well. If the body wasn't Snake's.
I didn't put it together right away, but there was something Clover told me. She said that Snake's left arm was prosthetic. He'd lost his real arm in an accident, but the body we saw in the shower room, let's call him Guy X. Guy X's left arm was definitely flesh and blood. In other words, Guy X couldn't possibly have been Snake.
Oh God. No. That's impossible.
Ace had started muttering deliriously to himself, shaking his head back and forth. Junpei was long past caring.
Let's say, hypothetically, that the killer didn't have prosopagnosia. If that were the case, he would immediately realize that Guy X wasn't Snake. Even if the clothes were the same as Snake's, their faces would be completely different. It would have been obvious they were different people. And yet, they still killed him. Why? Why would they kill a stranger who'd only just shown up? On the other hand, if the killer did have prosopagnosia, it makes sense. They thought Guy X was Snake and killed him.
Wait just a moment. Let's say you're right, and I mistook Guy X for Snake.
Uh-huh.
Even if I did, I would have had no motive to kill him.
Oh, we getting there.
Why would I want to kill Snake?
I can think of at least 2 motives. 1, Snake knew about your past. If he ever revealed what he knew, that would have been really bad for you. You really didn't want that to happen.
Why don't we tell Santa?
So to make sure Snake's mouth stayed shut, you killed him. 2, Snake had a grudge against you. You knew that, or at least you could have easily assumed he did. Even without exposing your identity, he was a threat to you. You never knew when you might be attacked. You couldn't ever let your guard down. Every moment was a moment he might try something. You didn't want that kind of danger hanging over you. So you...
Yeah, hopefully we get that answer, Star. Why is there a random dude in Snake's clothing?
Hey, hold on a minute.
For the first time since the beginning of Junpei's explanation, someone besides Ace spoke.
What's the past that Ace wouldn't want us to know? Why did Snake have a grudge against him?
Look at this.
Oh, Santa's gonna be pissed.
What's this piece of paper?
Read the damn thing. Santa squinted at the paper and began to read.
The nonary game was played once before 9 years ago. The person with the number 2 bracelet attended the game 9 years ago. It was planned by the following 4 people: Cradle Pharmaceuticals CEO Gentaro Hongo. What is this?
Slowly, Santa looked up from the paper. So if Santa has a gun, someone's about to get shot. His eyes met Junpei's.
It's the message from Zero. It was in the safe in the first class cabin.
Then suddenly,
Give me a break!
Ace's face was red and shaking, and his voice was full of fury tinged with desperation.
That paper is a lie! Someone is trying to frame me!
Why bother?
Me. You said me, right?
Junpei's eyes narrowed and the trap began to close. Ace inhaled sharply. His eyes flicked off of Junpei to something, anything else.
Wouldn't that mean you're admitting you're Hongo, the CEO of Cradle Pharmaceuticals? Or am I mistaken?
It was as though a switch had been flipped. The color drained from Ace's face, and as he realized what he'd done, his eyes went wide.
Very well. I admit that much. I am certainly the CEO of Cradle Pharmaceutical, Gentaro Hongo. So what if I am? I don't know anything about this nonary game that supposedly took place 9 years ago. Everything on that scrap of paper is bullshit.
Uh-huh.
Someone is trying to set me up, you see?
At this point, I trust Zero more than anyone on this ship.
First of all,
Ace stammered as he tried desperately to work himself to a more tenable position.
Junpei, you're claiming I did this all by myself. Think that over, all right? How could I have killed Snake all by myself?
Not Snake. It was Guy X.
I don't care who it was. You said the killer put this other man into door 3, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Then I couldn't have possibly done that alone. I couldn't have opened door 3 with only myself and Guy X.
However, if you had a certain bracelet that went missing that Snake supposedly had, well, Snake is the only one that could have, unless he backtracked and picked it up.
Nope. You could have.
Huh?
All the gasps.
What?
Ace's face was tight and his teeth were clenched. Junpei fixed him with a level stare. The trap was about to close.
Actually, Ace, when you were unconscious, I took something from you. Remember when you were injected with that anesthetic and fell asleep in the big hospital room? Yeah, back then, I took this.
Junpei put his hand into his pocket.
No! You couldn't have!
Ace's right hand moved. Junpei smiled.
I got you, Ace. Your right hand there tells me all I needed to know. You want to tell me what you were so worried about? What's in your pocket? It's the number 9 bracelet, isn't it? Ace, Guy X, and the 9th man's bracelet. That was all you needed to open door 3. That's how you killed Guy X all by yourself, Ace. All you needed was the number 9 bracelet in your chest pocket.
Ace lowered his hand from where it had stopped halfway to his pocket. He looked down at the floor, his face hidden from Junpei. All he could see was the corner of Ace's mouth twitching like a dying fish.
If you want to play innocent, that's fine by me. Go ahead, tell me. I don't have the bracelet, if that's what you want to do.
I mean, this is all interesting and all, but it doesn't really matter. We still need to get the fuck up off this ship.
But if you could take off your coat and hand it to me, I'd really appreciate it.
mean, there's no point catching whoever killed Snake if you don't get off the ship and you drown, which was supposed to happen in like an hour.
Otherwise, we'll have to take it from you by force. Right, Seven?
Yeah, it'd be my pleasure.
Seven cracked his knuckles with a sound like gunfire. Oh, there's gonna be some gunfire. Uh-huh. Ace roared with laughter. He threw his arms wide and his head back and laughed, filling the room with a sound that scarcely belonged there. Then it stopped. His arms came down, his head dropped to look straight ahead at Junpei. Oh, there's that look. His face was flat and cold, devoid of any emotion.
Well done, Junpei. As you so correctly deduced, I have the number 9 bracelet. I retrieved it while we were searching for the missing hardware for the Red. I left the room I was supposed to search and headed to the first-class cabin on B-deck.
His voice showed no emotion, no sense of remorse or interest. It was almost bored, excuse me, as though he were reciting an especially dull corporate letter. What the? Oh.
My purpose was to obtain the number 9 bracelet. 9 is a potent ally in the nonary game. Adding 9 to any set of numbers won't alter the digital root.
Yeah, no,
As you
I
can
get it, dude.
9 is a very useful number here. With it, one can go anywhere, with anyone. It is, I suppose you could say, a game changer. So I made for the first-class cabin to obtain it. In mere moments, I successfully acquired the number 9 bracelet. There was also an unexpected bonus. The knife the 9th man had used. I quickly pocketed both of them and left. I made my way back to where I was expected to be. That's when I ran into Snake. Well, this guy X, actually. I spotted him ahead of me. He was heading for the large hospital room and hadn't noticed me. The man wearing Snake's clothes arrived at door 3. When he stopped, I walked up behind him and called out, "Snake." He turned around.
Who the fuck is that?
He said nothing. His mouth simply hung half open. He seemed dazed somehow, almost like a man half asleep. Perhaps he had been drugged. It wasn't important. I tend to gloss over little things like that. I was certain that man was Snake. I knew Snake had taken part in the nonary game 9 years ago. Being blind, it made sense that he didn't recognize me immediately upon our first meeting. But why then hadn't Snake said anything to me later? Surely he hadn't forgotten what had happened to him in the nonary game. But not once did he attempt to confront me. Did his lack of sight prevent him from fully recognizing who I was? Or perhaps Snake had conspired with Zero to deceive me? Regardless, he was a threat, and it was better to deal with him sooner rather than later. I had to get rid of him before he took action. With quick thinking, my plan went into motion immediately. I held the number 9 bracelet over the Red. I waved my own bracelet in front of the Red, and then grabbed Snake's arm and shoved his hand against the scanner panel.
Not Snake, but still.
The door opened. I threw the man through it. 9 seconds later, the door shut. 81 seconds passed.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely see Zero doing that. But it does make you wonder who that person was, though, because if Zero is really kind of looking for justice for the last game, he wouldn't exactly kill, you know, well, I guess no. was gonna say he wouldn't kill an innocent, but no, he put a bunch of innocents in here. A lot of people have information, but they're not all, you know, they're not all innocent. I mean, they're not all guilty of a crime. So, okay.
After that, I returned to my post as though nothing had happened. After conducting my own search, I returned to the large hospital room when the 1 a.m. bell rang.
Ace's eyes were cold and his cheeks were hollow and pallid. When he spoke, only his lips and tongue moved. The rest of his face was eerily still. That is true, too. It would be really hard to predict that Ace will kill him and they won't meet anyone else on the way. Yeah. Junpei glared at Ace. He took a deep breath and thought about the next question he had to ask. He didn't want to. He knew what the answer would be. He just didn't want to hear it. Junpei swallowed, then spoke.
Ace, did you kill Clover?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why? Why did you kill her?
She was Snake's sister. It was possible he had told her something dangerous. Additionally, she had gone through door 1. It seemed likely she might have found it.
Found what?
Why don't you go through door 1 yourself? Perhaps it's hidden somewhere.
We've never been through door 1. Seven and Lotus interrupted.
Yeah, but Lotus and I went through door 1 too.
We didn't see anything suspicious.
Yes. I thought as much after I heard your report at the central stairs. I doubt the two of you could find it.
Huh?
But perhaps Clover was different. Perhaps she had found it. I was, therefore, desperate to find her. And at last I did, in the first-class cabin. I spoke very calmly. Did you see it?
See what?
Don't act as if you don't understand. You were in the captain's quarters, weren't you?
Huh? What are you talking about?
Very well. By the way, what are you doing here, Clover?
What? Nothing.
There's blood on your shoes. It looks fresh. Did you go take a look at the 9th man's corpse? I see. Your silence suggests that you noticed. You saw something, didn't you? You saw that his bracelet was gone.
No!
And shanked. Clover ran. She made for the exit, but Ace stood in her way.
You aren't going anywhere.
He caught her by the collar as she passed and threw her to the floor hard.
You're staying here.
No!
She leapt back up and darted past him into the hallway. Ace followed at a run.
Don't you run, little girl.
He was faster. And shanked.
That was how I killed Clover.
I have no idea what the different endings are, actually, X3105. I know there are... Because I wanted to I wanted no spoilers whatsoever. And there are a total of 6 endings. I don't know what any of them actually do. All I know is on the recommended order. So basically, here's the thing I have. I have the people who've played this game years ago on the DS came up with a recommended order so you could get all the information and you could play every single puzzle. And basically all it shows is, like, for ending 1, go through, it's based on the numbered doors in the order you go through them in. And that's all I have. I don't know what the endings are. Although I was told that based on, like, the thing I read about the endings, you only need 3 to get the full plot. You won't miss anything by just getting those 3 aside from some puzzles. We already got ending number 4 because 4, 5, and 6 are the ones that give you the story. And 6 is the true ending. And 4 was everybody dies. The one we got last time. So, yep, after this, we have 1 more to do to get the true ending. So, yeah, I don't know if everybody survives in that one. His face hadn't changed, or if Clover at least survives. So far, she's died in both endings. His face hadn't changed. If he felt guilt or remorse or anything one might feel after taking the life of another human being, it didn't show.
You son of a bitch!
Seven's whole body trembled with rage and his voice rumbled with hate. Let's see. It depends, actually. Because we are currently on ending 5. And then we have ending 6, which is the true ending. So yeah, I don't know. I'd say to be safe, let's probably not spoil anything until we see the true ending at least. So yeah, any endings we haven't seen yet, just in case, let's just avoid spoilers with them. Seven's whole body trembled with rage and his voice rumbled with hate. I appreciate you asking and not spoiling anything. I mean, thank you. Yeah, because I don't know which ending is honestly which. Like I said, none of the 6 endings I'm looking at give me any details as to what they are. So, yeah. I mean, I didn't think you were, Helios. Yeah, since there's no details on which is which, and it's kind of an arbitrary order that like somebody came up with for this, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if there's an overlap or what. Ace looked at them and smiled. It was a cold, cruel thing with no humor in it. He shook his head and sighed.
I admit it. I've lost. I have lost. Completely and utterly. Don't misunderstand, Junpei. I didn't lose to you. I lost to Zero. Not you. I'm rather disgusted with myself for falling into such a simple trap. I looked the fool. And it was a trap. Make no mistake. I was trapped and manipulated by Zero. The man I killed in the shower room? If he wasn't Snake, then I have no idea who he was. But he was wearing Snake's clothes. And that was no coincidence. He had also been injected with something that reduced his cognition and prevented him from identifying himself or resisting me.
Go Gadget Zero.
And we can't forget the components that were removed from the Red before we arrived. I have no doubt that Zero planned all of this. Zero made sure I would kill that man. It follows, of course, that Zero knew everything I would do. That I would try to take the number 9 bracelet. That I would try to kill Snake. Everything.
Suddenly, Junpei remembered the paper he'd found in the safe. He remembered the last words Zero had written on it. I must punish them for the innocent lives they sacrificed. This is the only warning they will receive. That innocent souls might be saved, I now state the truth. And he remembered other words he'd heard from Clover.
I think Zero is one of us.
One by one, Junpei looked at the 5 people standing in front of him. Ace, Santa, June, Seven, and Lotus.
Zero is one of us? No. Wait. There's one more person. Snake. The man who died in the shower room isn't Snake. That means he's almost certainly still alive. Maybe Snake is Zero. Maybe he made Guy X wear his clothes so that we'd all think he was Where's Snake now? What if he's off somewhere laughing at us?
Or he's in a coffin, I mean.
If he is Zero, he must have been lying to us about everything else. Is he watching us?
I really don't think he is, but...
Well, I believe I've finished with my confession. Why don't we get moving?
He sounded as if he just finished doing nothing more exciting than describing the weather. For Santa, it was the last straw.
What the hell is this shit? You aren't going anywhere, you son of a bitch! we're gonna leave your ass here to rot!
Why? Because I killed Clover? That's ridiculous. Why are you so upset that I killed the little bitch? She was nothing to you. A stranger you only met a few hours ago. Am I wrong?
You bastard!
I mean, it's probably not the best idea. Seven roared and lifted a fist that would likely have shattered Ace's jaw, but someone else was faster. It was Lotus. She stepped towards Ace, raised a fist of her own, and drove it straight into his nose.
Blindsiding me with a punch, huh? You've got some fire, don't you? I confess, I rather like a tough woman.
Man, he decided to go all creepy. He sniffed and wiped a small trickle of blood from his nose with a raised eyebrow.
Well, maybe you'd like another one then.
Before that.
I know why Santa cares. Aside from, like, what X3105 said, it's a shit thing to do. Like, Santa, I actually understand why he cares. Like, he has enough information now that he can tell that, like, this fucker was responsible for the death of his sister. He knows now. And honestly, yeah, if Seven got his memory back by now, and we just weren't with him when he did. So, yeah. Well, I think that's the thing, is I don't think Ace has put the... Ace doesn't know that Santa lost his sister to his experiment. So, yeah, Santa didn't say anything about... Yeah, Santa didn't say anything to Ace about it. So, yeah, I don't think he knows Santa's sister died in the experiment. And Santa didn't say anything about Clover. He's just pissed. Now, as for the Lotus thing, X3105, that conversation about Cradle Pharmaceuticals, she didn't know about Cradle Pharmaceuticals until she got the story from Seven when he got his memory back. But she didn't go through that door with Seven this time. So she didn't have that conversation with him. So yes, we know her children were the experiment and she has a reason to hate whoever ran the experiment. But at this point, she does not know about Cradle Pharmaceuticals' involvement. Unless some other time, like unless there's another room where Seven gets his memory back. But I don't think he has. Because if he had gotten his memory back, he would have registered. Like he would have, I would imagine they would have written something about him reacting to finding out this dude is in charge of Cradle. So I could imagine Santa being like, this whole thing being more important to him than escape. But you're right. The rest of them, it's like, we need to get the fuck up out of here. That should take priority.
Let me give you one of my own.
Huh?
Lotus scarcely had time to blink. Ace snaked his arms around her and pulled Lotus's back up against him. In the same motion, he reached into his coat pocket. Yeah, he has the gun. It was a gun. The revolver. Almost lazily, he tilted it to point at Lotus's head.
If any of you so much as blink, I won't hesitate to pull this trigger. I've already killed 3 people. Don't think I'm not ready to make it 4.
3 people? What do you mean?
Very well. Let me take this opportunity to illuminate you.
Dude, you really don't need to.
The person who killed the 9th man was me. Although I suppose to be more accurate, I encouraged him to get himself killed. While we were examining the main staircase, he came to me and told me his name. I recognized it at once. So I gave him a little push. Just a little white lie. It seems the settings for the dead were altered. Now it only requires a single person to deactivate the detonator in the bracelet. Investigate what's beyond door 5. We'll meet again later. And with that...
Okay. Have a good one, guys.
That dude had such a weird voice.
I'm going off ahead now. Well then.
Why is it stopping? God damn it! You lied! Open the door, please! I'm begging you! Help me! Please get me out of here! Get me out of here!
Wow. Yeah.
Oh my god, there's no time left! Listen, I was lied to! He lied to me! He put me in here! It was him! He killed me! It was him! Ah!
Kaboom.
I had 4 reasons for killing him.
1.
As I said before, in the nonary game, the number 9 bracelet is of utmost importance. If I had allowed him to keep such a useful tool, he, or it, would have become a threat to me. As such, I decided that he should be eliminated early on. I wanted the number 9 bracelet. If I could manage to obtain it, I would be able to manipulate the game as I saw fit. I would be unable to acquire the bracelet unless its owner was dead. That's the second reason. Even setting aside his number, he would have been nothing but trouble for me. He was aware of my past. He knew what happened here 9 years ago.
Assuming he's one of the other ones from the list.
It was important that I eliminate him before he was able to disseminate this information.
Was he the, probably the personnel person, wasn't he? I don't think he was the security head.
Lastly, I wished to conduct a simple test. A test to see if this nonary game was serious or a poor attempt at a joke. I needed to be quite sure. As such, I encouraged him to act against the rules so that I might observe the outcome.
Junpei glared at him.
I don't get your third motive. What the hell happened 9 years ago?
Didn't I say? The nonary game was played. I planned it out, and I conducted its execution.
Was it his assistant? I was just wondering if it was one of the 4, like, Zero wanted to punish specifically 4 people. Was it 4 or 3? It was this dude, the CEO, like a lady who was like the... I don't remember if it was staff or security. But yeah, there were 4 executives.
Why? What on earth was it supposed to do?
I don't really think I have any obligation to tell you that.
I mean, you're explaining everything else, motherfucker. Might as well. Ace smirked. He was trying to provoke them, and it was working. Although Ace had paid very little attention to Lotus after catching her, the gun had never wavered from her temple. She looked quite pale, and when she spoke, her voice shook.
Hey, what's with this gun? Where did he get this?
Why don't you tell her, Santa?
Santa ground his teeth and glared at
On the
Ace.
other side of door 6, we found the gun in the coffin in the cargo room, right? The bastard must have grabbed it when we weren't looking.
Indeed, I did. That was a pretty serious mistake, you know. Just saying you intended to leave it behind.
Ace laughed a short, derisive snort and gave Junpei a sickeningly pitying look.
Well, there isn't much time left. I'll be off then.
Well, where are you going?
Do I really need to explain? I had assumed it would be obvious.
He's got right there enough to go through the door.
And now I have Lotus.
Wasn't there a door with a 9 on it in the room that looked like a church?
2.
That's where you're going, isn't it?
And how do you know that?
Santa told me about it while we were looking for Clover.
I see. Well, you are correct. That is my destination. But now I must say goodbye to all of you. Ah, and please, don't forget my warning. Move and I'll pull the trigger. I don't need her alive to open the door, you know.
He's gonna kill her anyway. He doesn't want this information getting out if they do escape. As he spoke, Ace began backing toward the door, practically dragging Lotus behind him.
Shit! He's getting away! But we can't risk it.
Junpei, Santa, June, and Seven stood frozen. Ace had the face of a man gone mad. They had no doubt he would pull the trigger. Ace had reached the exit.
Now, Lotus, open the door for me if you would.
He forced Lotus to open it, then turned and addressed them once more.
Goodbye.
Then he stepped through the door. Ugh. Fell shut. In the blink of an eye, they were gone.
Damn it!
As soon as Ace and Lotus were gone, Junpei and the others leapt for the door in pursuit of Ace. But as Junpei laid his hand on the doorknob... The fuck? Again? There was a noise behind him. He looked over his shoulder. June was kneeling on the floor, breathing heavily.
Hey, June, what happened? Are you all right?
Can we give June a knife and be like, sick him? Go get him. Santa ran to June and wrapped his arm around her before she could collapse all the way.
Jesus, you're burning up. Your fever's back.
June's fever had returned again for no apparent reason. Her eyes were watery and her eyelids drooped. Her breath came in dry, shallow gasps.
I'm okay. Really, I'm fine. You should be worrying about Lotus.
She was breathing hard now and she could barely summon the strength to talk.
But
Junpei was torn. He couldn't leave June alone in the state she was in. But every moment they waited, Ace was farther away. Lotus's life in his hands. What was Junpei supposed to do? June's eyes drifted to Junpei. She managed to muster a weak smile.
Jumpy, don't worry about me. I just need a little rest. I'll be fine.
And I need to kill all these motherfuckers that are still around me.
Don't you remember? I just needed to rest a little bit last time. So please, please save Lotus.
Think about what Ace has already done, Junpei. When he's got what he needs from Lotus, you really think he's just gonna let her walk away?
Damn it. You guys go on ahead. Soon as June starts feeling better, we'll follow you. Go!
Oh, you did. Junpei looked at June. She nodded once. She couldn't manage much more. But it was all the confirmation Junpei needed. His resolve was set.
All right. Come on, Seven. We're going after Ace.
Hell yeah!
Santa, you take good care of June. I'm trusting you.
Got it.
Santa nodded. Junpei turned before he had a chance to change his mind and started running toward the door. He could hear Seven's heavy footsteps behind him.
Let's go!
Junpei and Seven exploded into the hallway, their feet pounding the metal floor as they ran. But yeah, you got a point, Stallhor. If you do catch up to the dude with the gun, what the hell are you going to do about it? Junpei and Seven had finally arrived at the church, exhausted and out of breath. As their lungs struggled to catch their breath, their eyes frantically scanned the room.
Where are they?
I don't see them.
You think they already went through?
He reached up to wipe a palm full of sweat from his brow.
Maybe.
Even as he spoke, Junpei was already on his way to the larger of the number 9 doors.
Let's check the red.
The display panel read vacant. He spun around and headed towards the smaller door. Red would tell him if Ace and Lotus had moved to another room.
Engaged. It's occupied.
Yep, they in there.
That means Ace and Lotus went through here.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Junpei and Seven stepped away from the door. They retreated to the center of the room and began to talk.
What do we do now?
Yeah, what should we do?
Check the massive coffin with the keypad.
Well, the big door is still vacant, but...
The two of us can't do anything with it.
Yeah, not even counting how our digital route isn't 9.
Just then, as they were pondering what to do next, there was a noise. A noise like someone hitting a thick wooden panel.
What's that sound?
Junpei looked up, surprised. Seven followed suit, his eyes jumping around the room, looking for the source of the sound.
It's coming from over there.
It wasn't long before they found the altar. Or more precisely, what was on it.
The coffin.
Yeah.
Let's open it.
How?
By force!
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Well, you never know till you try, right? The only necessity for success is the willingness to suffer 1,000 failures.
Who said that?
I forget. Anyway, we've got to try.
Or you can look at the keypad. Junpei and Seven leapt at the coffin. They grabbed hold of what purchase they could find and pulled.
Damn it!
See? Didn't I tell you? If you could just pull it open, why would it have something like that?
Seven pointed a keypad on the side of the coffin.
Right. So unless I put in the right passcode, it's not gonna open.
Yes, that's what that means. The noise had stopped. In fact, as it continued, it had only gotten louder and more forceful. What were they supposed to do, Junpei
Is there
wondered.
some sort of clue somewhere?
They stood there for a few moments, staring at the coffin, and then Seven spoke.
Hey, Junpei. I remember you mumbling about some weird numbers over by the bathroom in the first-class cabin. You got those numbers by solving the secret message Clover was holding, right? Truth had gone, or...
Yeah, that's right. What about it?
Well, maybe that number's the passcode for this thing, too.
Come on,
Doubt
that's
it.
impossible. Those numbers were the code to unlock that safe.
Yeah, but the person who set up that safe in this coffin is the same person, right?
Eh.
Zero set up both of these.
Yeah, probably.
Well, then they might have set the same passcode for both of them.
That's ridiculous.
Why don't you just try it? I mean, it's not like you'll make things any worse.
It'd just be a waste of time. There's no way they're the same number.
Try it.
How do you know that? You never know until you try. The only necessity for success is the willingness to suffer 1,000 failures.
Who said that?
You.
Fine.
He knelt down in front of the keypad and looked at it. Perhaps because he'd repeated them so many times before, the numbers came easily to Junpei's mind.
1438 342.
Quickly, he typed them in. He checked that he'd entered the right numbers, took a deep breath, and pressed the E button. It only took a moment. Lock open.
What? You gotta be kidding me.
There was a click. And with a heavy clunk, the lid of the coffin slid off onto the floor. Someone sat up from inside.
Snake!
Hi, dude.
You? Why?
Ah, those voices. Junpei and Seven, unless I'm mistaken.
Yay, he is back.
Where are the others? Are they elsewhere?
Of course, there was no reason Snake would have known anything about where anyone else would be. Junpei and Seven looked at one another. There was a great deal he needed to know about. Namely, Clover. They had to tell him something, however, so they began to talk. Snake explained to them how he came to be locked in the coffin. Apparently, he'd been hit with some sort of knockout gas, and Junpei and Seven explained what happened to the rest of them.
I see. I believe I got the gist of everything. Have I been sufficiently caught up?
No, there was one thing they kept from him. There was one thing, however, that neither Seven nor Junpei could bring themselves to say. That Ace had killed Clover. They feared that if Snake knew, he might well go insane. What the? No. No. They decided as much by a look at the moment Snake had climbed out of the
Still doesn't
coffin.
explain why you were trapped in here.
We've still got no clue about Zero's true identity, let alone why the hell he's doing all this. Why did he put Guy X in Snake's clothes? Is all this stuff somehow related to that notary game that was played
Hey, Snake, do you know anything?
Junpei put the question to Snake. His answer was less than illuminating.
What are you talking about? I apologize, but I have no idea what you're saying.
It seemed as though Snake was perhaps not being entirely honest, but that knowledge did Junpei and Seven little good.
Oh, come on, just tell us if you know.
I don't know what to tell you. How can I know something I don't?
No matter how many times they asked, he insisted that he knew nothing. It was becoming clear that Snake wouldn't give in, and every second they spent asking about him was a second wasted.
Bad. We're running out of time.
We need to go after Ace.
However, they stood in silence, the overpowering atmosphere of the chapel almost stifling. Junpei, Seven, Snake simply stood at a loss for what they should do next.
What do we do now?
Leave. He glanced over at Snake's wrist. Sure enough, he could see the number 2 on the bracelet on his wrist.
The 3 of us can't make a digital route of 9.
Yeah, we just get 5.
We're stuck here then.
Unless you go get the other 2.
Oh. Hey, I just remembered something.
Seven began patting his pockets as if he were checking to see if any of them held anything.
What?
What is it?
I found something earlier.
What did you find?
This.
He'd finally found the pocket he wanted, and his hand dove into it. Seven pulled out something round and metal. A bracelet. There was no mistaking the number glowing at them from the face like a cartoon eye.
0. Zero's bracelet.
What did you say? Are you saying that 7 has the number 0 bracelet?
Yeah.
Where did you get that?
Snake's question was innocent enough, but if he learned the truth, if he'd been able to see, he would have noticed Seven look away.
The Clover gave it to me.
She did?
Yeah.
How did she come by it?
Well, she found it. See, on the other side of door 1, A deck, in the captain's quarters. She asked me to hold on to it because it was too big and bulky for her to be lugging around.
He's lying.
Junpei could tell right away that Seven wasn't telling the truth.
He even told us earlier.
I haven't actually looked at it yet. Didn't want to disturb the crime scene, you know? Basic stuff. Well, I did borrow one thing.
He probably said that so Snake doesn't find out about Clover.
All right, Junpei. Been nice knowing.
Wait, what?
All right, Junpei, been nice knowing you. 7 + 2 + 0 = 9. Oh, shit.
Come on, man. I'm just kidding.
Okay, then. Bastard.
Still, just in case, I want to make sure the 0 bracelet gets picked up by the red. Snake, give me a hand, all right?
Without waiting for a response, he started walking toward the door. Junpei and Snake followed him quietly. Before long, they found themselves in front of the larger of the 2 doors. Seven and Snake put their palms on the red. Once they'd done that, Seven put the number 0 bracelet on the scanner panel as well. A third asterisk appeared on the screen. 7 + 2 + 0 = 9. Now they just need to pull the lever and the door would open.
Huh? Why isn't it opening?
Because the bracelet may not be from this game.
Well, the third asterisk lit up, so it must have registered the 0 bracelet.
Maybe it isn't actually 0.
Huh?
What?
That bracelet may not actually produce the number 0 when scanned. That is what I'm saying. Why don't we try a few different combinations? Perhaps we can determine what number that bracelet actually contains.
Oh, got it.
All right. Junpei nodded. They decided to use the following combination. Well, so it was already... I think this is probably what it is.
Let's try all 3 of us and the bracelet.
Snake, Junpei, 7.
If this combination works, then the number for this bracelet is 4.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It didn't open.
Then this bracelet is not 4.
Then?
Junpei continued. They decided to use the following combination.
Let's try me, 7, and the bracelet. If this combination works, then the number for this bracelet is 6.
They scanned in their bracelets. The bracelet is 6.
It opened.
Yes, so it would seem.
7 clearly hadn't thought their experiment would produce anything useful and looked rather confused. Snake was, as usual, calm and smug. The doors slid closed. Junpei's forehead furrowed as he thought.
That means the bracelet is actually 6. But how is that possible? The display on the bracelet clearly shows a 0.
Suddenly, from somewhere far beneath them, they heard the creak and groan of tearing metal. With it came the sound of water pouring into parts of the ship that had until recently been dry.
Oh man, that's not good. I guess our time's just about up, huh?
At any rate, we know now that the door can be opened. Let's go!
But, Snake, are you sure?
Yeah. You know that only Junpei and I can go through this way.
You needn't worry. I have a solution to this problem. My last resort. But if now is not the time for last resorts, then when?
Last?
Resort?
I am curious. It'd be funny if the bracelet just, oh, that's right. If the bracelet just fell off and it's like, you know, congratulations, and that's it. Junpei, 7, and Snake ran full tilt down a long, straight hallway. They were headed for the stern of the ship and had no time for distractions. As they ran, 7 spoke.
Gotta admit, you really surprised me there, kid. I couldn't figure out how the hell you were gonna get out of that one. How come you didn't do that right off the bat?
As I told you, it was a last resort. Had I used it at the beginning of the game, I would have come under a great deal of suspicion.
We went through door number 9.
I imagine that most people would have taken it to mean that I was 0.
And 7 actually had the big one, the double door.
Once they'd convinced themselves of that, I wasn't optimistic about my chances of making it out of here alive, let alone unscathed. I felt it best to play my cards close to the chest, as it were. That way, if I were in a situation where there was nothing else I could do, I'd have a little trick up my sleeve. I'd just take my bracelet off.
Snake's plan had been simple but effective. He'd simply removed his bracelet. How? To Junpei, it had looked as though his snake had simply crushed the bones of his hand until they were small enough to fit through the wristband. Of course, that would have been practically impossible, so how had he done it?
My brother's left arm is, it's not like a normal person's arm.
You could have just said prosthetic.
It's fake. It's...
Snake had slid the bracelet off and tossed it into the coffin.
I know this is kind of a weird thing to say, but I'm glad that's a fake arm.
Yep.
Don't have to be afraid of the door if you don't got a bracelet.
You are correct.
He'd walked through the door easily without authenticating. He stepped out the other side unscathed and began running down the hall alongside 7 and Junpei. They kept running for a while longer and eventually came upon a set of stairs leading downward on the right side of the hallway. They stopped and peered down the staircase.
I think these stairs connect to the bottom deck.
Doesn't look like it's underwater.
They nodded quickly to one another and jogged down the stairs. It took only a few minutes to make their way to the deck. Pretty much that's kind of what I was wondering. There was a single hallway in front of them, and the end of which was a single door.
Let's go through that door.
Junpei threw it open. Inside was a massive iron gate. A plate was affixed to the top of it. Incinerator.
Incinerator?
Oh my. That doesn't sound very pleasant.
A little nervous, dude?
Do you see a lever near the gate, perhaps?
Yeah, right over here.
How did you know that?
Well, I'd be happy to regale you with the story. I imagine it should only take half a day or so.
Junpei grumbled, gave Snake a dirty look, and jogged over to the lever.
If you pull it, the door ought to open.
Got it.
He pulled the lever down. I don't want to go in there, though. The rumble of an ancient motor, the door opened. There was no need to hold back and no time to hesitate. They pushed their way inside. Into the incinerator? Standing in front of them were Ace and Lotus. Ace still held the revolver in his hand. It was pressed hard against Lotus's temple. A small dark bruise had begun to form near the tip. Even from several yards away, Junpei could see that Lotus was shaking. She was terrified. Perhaps more interesting was what Junpei saw behind them. Another door, number 9. Another number 9 door.
Why? Why is there another one?
The door stopped Junpei in his tracks. It simply shouldn't have been there. As his brain finally began to consider why, the whine of a warning klaxon filled the air, drowning out any thought of it.
Warning. Warning. Emergency incineration command has been acknowledged.
Oh, are we all gonna burn to death?
Automatic incineration will take place in 9 minutes.
Of course.
Please evacuate the incinerator immediately.
Oh my, how exciting. You've run quite a show here, Zero.
A terrifying smile twisted Ace's
What's the
face.
matter? Too frightened to understand? Here, let me explain.
It's said that the incineration system is about to activate. In 9 minutes, this room will be engulfed in flame.
Who are you?
You don't recognize me? I'm hurt. It's me, Snake.
Snake? Oh, yes. You are alive. I'm afraid your bizarre style had me confused. I'm quite glad to see that you're alive.
Ace's voice didn't change. Snake ground his teeth.
If you don't mind my asking, how did you get here? Snake, Junpei, 7. The 3 of you couldn't have opened a door with a 9. Did you use Clover's bracelet, perhaps?
What?
Uh-oh. Yeah.
Well, your reaction suggests that you did not.
Hold on. Why did you think we'd have Clover's bracelet?
Oh, shit's about to go bad. Junpei felt his chest tighten.
Oh, they haven't told you?
Told me what?
Clearly not. Normally, I would take some time and enjoy the moment. But I'm afraid my time is at a premium just now. I'll have to make this quick. Clover.
He's
Don't
dead.
do it, Ace! Keep your goddamn mouth shut!
Clover.
I said stop it! Don't listen to him, Snake.
Junpei could feel his voice going hoarse, but Snake didn't listen
What
to him.
happened to Clover?
Ace looked at him. The corner of his mouth curled into the hook of a cruel smile.
Clover died.
The color left Snake's face. He shook his head weakly.
No, that's not true. That's impossible. It's a lie. It has to be a lie.
Oh, it's quite true. I can assure you of that. I killed her myself, you see.
What?
I'm sorry, did I stutter? I killed her.
Seems like an odd thing to want to do right now. Man, I guess they're stuck here for like a little bit. Snake's face twisted in a mask of rage, mottled red rising to dot his pale skin. His entire body shook. He looked at Junpei disturbingly like a demon.
I would have rather she died with less suffering.
Oh god, dude.
A bullet in her brain, perhaps, would have been ideal. Unfortunately, that would have made quite a bit of noise.
So you shanked her.
Circumstances being what they were, I was forced to settle for the knife. The one the ninth man had, you remember?
The one he used to threaten Lotus. Not Lotus, Clover.
I believe I caught her just below the shoulder blade. I was rather lucky, in fact. My first thrust went right between her ribs. Her flesh was so soft.
Oh, good lord, dude. Yeah, we went through door number 9, and like all the other doors, we came to a central room, an incinerator room, that had another door number 9 on it.
My knife slid in so easily. There was no resistance. That feeling was... I confess, I feel rather excited. It is a powerful memory.
Oh, great.
Someday, perhaps, I hope I can feel it again.
Okay.
Incineration will begin in 7 minutes.
I'm going to kill you.
Snake's words were a guttural growl, barely audible.
What was that?
I mean, the way he's going, possibly.
I'll kill you. I'll kill you.
Ah, so you're going to kill me. Please do. Come now. I'm waiting.
Don't do it! Don't listen to him, Snake! Stop it, kid. He's screwing with your head.
Is there a problem? What are you waiting for, boy? Don't you want me to send you to join your sister?
Don't! The Snake! Don't do it!
Snake is gonna snap. But Snake could no longer hear them. Snake could no longer hear anything. And now he gets shot. Snake moved like a bolt of lightning. His scream echoed through the incineration chamber, full of rage and despair.
Snake! Snake!
And down goes Snake. Another scream filled the room. It was Lotus. She ran across the room toward Junpei, her eyes wide with terror.
Lotus! Hurry! This way!
Yeah, so not Daredevil. Snake's ill-fated attack had loosened Ace's grip on her, and she'd made a run for it. She reached Seven and Junpei and ducked behind them. I never agreed to be a meat shield.
Incineration will begin in 5 minutes.
Give me the woman.
He raised the gun.
I need her. Without her bracelet, I will be unable to open this door.
Not my problem.
Quickly now. I don't have time for your shenanigans.
In the center of the room, Snake's body lay eerily still. He looked like a human larva, prone and vulnerable on the floor.
I see. Then it would seem I have no choice. The rest of you must die as well. Fortunately, I have
His
5
head is also
bullets
fake.
left. 1 for Junpei, another for Lotus, and the last 3 for that lump of idiotic man you call Seven.
Hey.
I will take Lotus's body with me and leave this room.
Incineration will begin in 4 minutes.
Well, it looks as though our time together is at an end. I rather enjoyed playing with you.
Damn it!
Junpei could see Ace's finger tighten. He could see it begin to squeeze down on the trigger. His body tense, preparing for the catastrophic impact of hot lead against human flesh.
Goodbye.
Then it happened.
Kill you.
Oh, here we go. Snake is on his feet.
What? No, that's impossible.
For the first time, Ace's composure broke. With obvious effort, Snake lunged forward 1 step closer to Ace, then another. He looked for all the world like a zombie.
I'll kill you. I'll kill you.
His voice was the mournful wailing of the undead.
Stay away from me. Get back. Stop. If you come any closer, I'll... Get away from me.
Little by little, Ace was retreating. Snake didn't stop. He continued his stiff, inexorable approach, his eyes twin pools of pure fury.
Listen to me. I said, don't come any closer.
What you gonna do, shoot me again?
Shit! You bastard!
Ace's revolver leapt 5 times. 5 times the air in the incinerator was split by the crack of a bullet. Snake's body twitched as 5 clouds of blood and torn flesh leapt into the air across his body. A fine pink mist drifted from his body and disappeared. Junpei didn't have time to ponder what that meant before. And then his strength was gone, his legs crumbled, and his broken and battered body slid to the floor.
Incineration will begin in 3 minutes.
Finally. You're
unarmed now, though. But Snake wasn't done. Oh, shit.
Hell. Kill you.
Even as the pool of blood beneath him grew, he began to move. He half crawled, half slid toward Ace. One bloody arm wrapped itself around Ace's leg.
Won't get away.
And the other gripped his thigh with strength that should have been long gone.
You son of a bitch! You're a monster!
Kinda.
Get off me! Let me go, damn you!
And I was just punching that fucker. Oh, well, no. Kicking that fucker. Driving his foot into Snake's face, his arm, his shoulder. Yeah, apparently he either panicked or just was a shitty shooter in general. It made no difference. Snake refused to release him. Once a snake has ensnared its prey, rarely does it release it.
This is it, Ace. We're going to burn to death together.
I mean, I'm okay with that.
What?
Incineration will begin in 2 minutes.
I agree. We need to get the fuck up out the incinerator.
Get off! Let me go, you monster! Okay, look. Think about it. My company owns a wonderful hospital. It has excellent doctors.
I don't think he's gonna make it.
You're not wounded too seriously. I'm sure they can fix you up easily.
Uh-huh.
You don't have to die. You could be saved. Just let me go.
After what you said about his sister, I don't think so.
Pathetic. Begging for your life.
Then Seven and Lotus began to speak. Junpei could hear tears in their voices and their words were strained.
Snake, that's enough! You can stop now!
Yes! He's right, Snake! You've done enough!
Come on, Snake, let's go! Let's get out of here!
You have to come with us! We have to leave together!
Not gonna happen. Snake turned toward them. He coughed and blood splattered across the floor. Then he smiled a sad sort of smile.
I apologize, but I'm afraid I can't do that. You'd best forget about me. You need to leave soon. I'm going to take him with me.
Shut up! Be quiet!
I couldn't save Clover. My sister died because of me. Perhaps this will begin to atone for that. Perhaps in the afterlife, she can forgive me.
You can only hope.
Now go. Go now. You have to go.
Incineration will begin in 1 minute.
God damn it! Shit! We're out of time! We gotta go!
Seven ran toward the exit. Lotus followed him. Junpei couldn't move. Move, Junpei! There were white lines down Snake's cheeks where his tears had washed the blood away. He was broken body and soul, and Junpei felt as though half his own heart had been torn out. His eyes stung, and he tried desperately to swallow to clear the lump in his throat.
Junpei, what are you doing? You have to get out of here now!
Junpei's chest tightened, pulled taut by anger, misery, and a cold feeling of emptiness. Pure emotion surged through his heart alongside the torrent of blood. He could feel it building, a tremendous wave growing taller and taller and taller. And then it broke, crashing down with thunderous force onto its shaken, unprepared mind.
Snake! Snake!
You didn't draw it out enough. Junpei's rational mind was gone. He was driven by instinct now, and he launched himself across the floor at Snake and Ace. Or he tried to.
Wait! Don't be an idiot, Junpei!
He felt a hand grab him from behind. It was Seven. Before he had time to react, the larger man had pinned Junpei's arms to his side and was hauling him bodily back toward the door.
No! No! I have to help Snake! Snake! Snake!
Come on, do it.
Get off of me! Let me go!
Incineration will begin in 10 seconds.
Uh-huh.
7.
I'm waiting for him to do it.
Damn it, I don't get a choice, kid! Don't blame me for this, alright?
Knock me the fuck out. Let's get out.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
And there goes the incinerator room. Yeah, unfortunately, no Snake.
Are locked down. Beginning incineration.
Junpei felt Seven's fist bury itself deep in his stomach, and then his legs turned to mush. Seven scooped him up in the same motion and leapt through the door. It slammed shut behind them. Junpei struggled to shaky feet. He glanced over to see Lotus only a short distance away. Junpei ran to the door.
He's...
There was a small window cut into it. Inside, he could see Ace and Snake.
Shit! Damn you all! Why? Why? Why me? I don't deserve this!
Yeah, you really do deserve this, man.
Answer me! Answer me, Zero! Why? Why? Zero! Zero! Zero!
Burn, motherfucker. He didn't know how much time passed. He didn't know how long he stood there in front of the incinerator. All this took place in just 1 hour. We did get a 0. Yeah, we did. We didn't get Snake, unfortunately, but yeah. He looked to the side. Lotus's face was ashen, and if not for the hand she'd put up against the wall, Junpei didn't think she could have stood. Seven looked old and tired and used, his eyes staring at the floor, seeing nothing. Junpei said nothing. He simply began to walk toward the open door in the hallway they'd come down earlier.
Hey, wait! Junpei!
Junpei, where are you going?
To get everybody else. He blinked when their voices broke the silence. He stopped.
You stay here. I'll go get Santa and June.
I don't know which group's gonna be
You're
dead.
bring them here?
How?
Don't worry about that. Just stay here and wait, all right?
He began to walk again. He looked over his shoulder and watched Seven and Lotus grow smaller and smaller. Yeah, the ship is sinking. They stared back, not moving. He wasn't sure if they could. He turned around again. He knew where he was going.
I saw an elevator on the way here. If I could get it to work, then maybe...
Before long, Junpei found himself in front of the elevator. Yeah, exactly. This dude need to be running right now, not just, like, casually walking down the hallway.
Please work.
He pushed it and the door opened.
Yes.
Junpei was in the large hospital room.
June! Santa!
He kept calling and walked to the center of the room. They ain't here. But try as he might, he couldn't find them.
Damn it. Where did they go?
Increasingly frustrated, increasingly worried, Junpei left the large hospital room. He had no choice. He would have to look for them. Junpei's heart was heavy. He couldn't shake the feeling, but there was a part of him that felt it would be wrong to, even if he could. With every step he took, his legs felt more and more like lead. So we're going to go through the entire damn place. How do we have time for this? We had 1 hour before we started chasing Ace through the 9 doors. And 10 of those minutes was us standing around the incinerator. Where did this abundance of time come from? Sometime later, Junpei found himself at the chapel. He stepped inside expecting to find nothing, but there on the red carpet in the center of the room is dead June. No, codenames didn't matter any longer. She was Connie.
Connie!
Junpei cried her name and ran. Like lightning, he ran across the room toward her.
Connie!
He stumbled to a stop. Did she just pass out? As he looked down at her body, lying so still on the floor, he felt the icy grip of fear upon his heart. She was still so very still.
No. It can't be. It's impossible.
Slowly, Junpei bent down toward her. His hands shook, and he felt very cold and very hot at the same time. He forced himself to look. Her back was moving. Slowly, it rose and fell. Relief washed over him.
Connie!
Junpei reached down and gently, very gently, lifted her up.
Connie, are you all right?
Jumpy?
Her eyes were blank and cloudy. They stared straight at Junpei but saw nothing. Trembling, Junpei wrapped his arms around her back. She was cold. Very cold. Junpei tried to convince himself that it was only his imagination, but she felt as though she were fading away. He could feel his heart pounding frantically in his chest. She might still die.
Oh man. Connie, what the hell happened to you? You feel...
Jumpy, I'm sorry.
Her voice was very faint.
I might not make it.
What's the wound, though?
No way. I am going to let you die. I am going to save you. I promise.
Because last time she'd legitimately been stabbed.
Thank you, Jumpy. Thank you so much. Oh, for everything. I was really happy to see you again, Jumpy. Really happy.
Oh, don't give me that I was crap. You're gonna see me again lots more times.
Not if I have anything to say about it.
You just gotta hang on. All right, Connie?
Jumpy, did you know you meant a lot to me when we were kids?
And even though you grew up to be a dumbass,
I've liked you for a long time.
Junpei's vision had gone blurry. It took him a moment to realize his eyes were filled with tears. He could feel a piercing point of heat deep in his heart, like a white-hot flame. He looked down at Akane. Oh, will it, Helios? Okay. He looked down at Akane. There was a crack of static from above his head, and a voice spoke.
Zero. You son of a bitch! Where are you hiding?
Junpei frantically scanned the ceiling for the source of the voice.
What the hell are you talking about? No.
This game has ended.
No, it hasn't. I'm not gonna let it end yet. I'm gonna get out of here with Connie. Why?
Because you chose the wrong path.
The wrong path?
That is correct. Your path is invariable, however. Admit defeat. Where there is shadow, there is light. Where there is the absence of light, there is no shadow. So it goes.
What are you talking about?
Ignore it not. The loser has been decided.
I told you! I am not gonna lose!
What?
Junpei didn't have time to ponder what that meant before he heard the door slam shut behind him. He spun around. There was no one there. Was it Zero?
Connie, wait here. I'll be right back, I promise.
She managed a single nod. Junpei laid her back down gently and leapt for the door. He yanked it open and shot outside. No one. The hall was empty. There was nothing moving anywhere.
Damn it. Where are you? It doesn't matter. I need to get Connie out first.
He didn't want to leave Connie alone any longer than he had to, so Junpei turned around and headed back to the chapel. And she's gone.
Connie!
She wasn't there. She wasn't anywhere. She'd been lying there on the floor just moments before. And now she was gone.
Oh God. No. No. Where is she? Connie. Connie! Connie! Connie!
We still got no Snake. But we got Connie. His cries split the heavens themselves. He screamed until his voice gave out. Then he screamed some more. But there was nothing, no answer. His voice faded away and all that remained was cold, unfeeling silence. That was when he noticed it.
Huh?
The gas. A strange smell, one he'd smelled before.
Wait. This is... white smoke.
9 seconds later, Junpei's mind winked out. And there we go. The end. Or is it? Okay, update the flow chart. Seek a way out. Seek a door that carries a 9. There we go. So, we have gone through all of this. So yeah, the next path, as we can see, if you looked at this, is we need to go through here. That would be door 4. Then door 7. Then yeah, door 1. So that is our final, that is our path to the final ending, is 471. And I guess to get the true ending, there are a few choices we're going to have to make in the next run, where our dialogue choices actually make a bloody difference. Imagine that, right? It's like the only ending where your dialogue choices make any difference. It's not all just about, you know, yeah, it's not all just about like the door choice. Like you actually have dialogue. So with this, though, I am all out of time for today. I was actually all out of time about a half hour ago, but I wanted to finish this run. So tomorrow we will come back to it, do the final true ending, which apparently tells us everything, especially combined with all the other shit we listened to. And yeah, I'm not going to do the first 3 endings because they are all puzzles. Like that's the only difference, is they give us puzzles. So yeah. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and I hope you guys have a good day.